Today, the old and the new come together in the Irish Hills of southern Michigan at the US 500. For the sport of IndyCar racing, today is a race day like none that has ever gone before.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Elite Racing Network. And tonight it is round 4 of the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series, and it's the Warriors for Peace US 500 here at the Irish Hills of Michigan. And here you check out the track details. 2 miles in length. We have 500 miles. That means 250 laps here tonight. And I am your host, Mike Goodman, along with me, Dave Huckleberry, behind the scenes. And Dave should be in for some good, crazy, wild action here at Michigan. I believe, me being more of a NASCAR fan, I think this could be probably compared to like a Talladega or Daytona kind of race. I think we're going to be in shape for tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely the big super speedway. It's a shame they don't race there anymore. I know attendance was an issue, but it was always a really wild track to race Indy cars on. High speed, high oval. And it was always one of the big thrills on the circuit.
Yeah, and it's going to be a thrill, I am sure, here tonight. And there you can check out the championship standings. And defending champion Alexander Van de Sant on top of the points once again. Ahead of Victor Del Porto. Wow. Having trouble saying some of these names I'll probably have troubles with tonight. And then Pinero in third. And then Siefker, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that somewhat right. And then Murphy rounding out your top 5. You can check out the rest of the top 20 in points. We have some newcomers here tonight, and they'll be marked with the rookie R. You'll see that on the ticker during the race. Some newcomers, some guys who maybe didn't run full seasons here, so they'll be marked as a rookie. You'll check out through the rest of the point standings. I believe we have around, I thought I had a number here, but I think we have around 30 cars here tonight trying to make the Warriors for Peace US 500. Qualifying is underway at the moment. On top of the leaderboard right now is a rookie, Nicholas Sudik, with a lap of a 32.47. AJ Musselman in second. Thomas Geisler in third. And then Nick DeGroot in fourth. And Chad Frankenfield rounds out your top 5 at the moment. Still a few cars left to make their laps. And let's see, I'm not sure who we're watching right now. The liveries
Victor
of
Del
these cars
Porto.
gotta get used. That's Victor Del Porto. Yep. All right. Got to get used to some of these paint schemes. I'm sure we have 500 miles to do, so we'll get some down. Last time I've seen Victor out on track, he had a little bit different scheme, so a little new to the 2022A paint schemes and liveries, so bear with us. We'll get there.
Now we're looking at the number 60, Joel Harleman.
And Harleman, as of right now, currently in 22nd on the board, taking his second lap, see if he can climb up the standings here. And one thing, kind of talking with some of the drivers here, I believe Chad Frankenfield was the one who told me you got to run the high side in traffic here on the qualifying lap. I'm sure you want to make it the shortest way around and see what you can get done. But in traffic, it's going to get loose, so things can get hairy. And we've seen that a little bit in practice here, Dave, with they get these packs and chaos can ensue. So it's going to be a test of iron will, I think, once you get in those packs and try to hang on.
Yeah, hopefully they'll settle in at the beginning and realize it's a long race. 250 laps is a long time, so you can't win it at the beginning, but you can lose it.
Yeah, okay. I know I was qualifying completed.
Qualifying is completed.
Yeah, Sudik getting the pole. AJ Musselman will start in second. Thomas Geisler in third. Nick DeGroot fourth. Chad Frankenfield rounds out that top five. Pinero in sixth position. Tristan Wood in seventh. Victor Del Porto bringing it, starting the grid here in eighth. And then Bruno Miranda in ninth. And Eric Triano rounds out your top 10. And in 11th spot is the real-life IndyCar driver, R.C. Enerson. And I think Yari knows this. I'm going to butcher his last name, so I'm just going to call you Yari. Again, I believe I've had to do this before. Sorry, Yari, but he will start the field here in the 12th spot. Justin Fortner will be in 13th. Craig Forsyth? Man. Forsyth. 14th. Dustin Dewar, 15th. Joa, how did we were talking
we decided
about
on Joa, right?
Joa, that's what it was. Joa Ritter. We apologize for any mispronunciations. In 16th, Jared Rexing, 17th. Joseph Gravala. Yeah, another tough one. So we're just gonna go with Joseph here tonight. 19th, Mark Murphy. Ryan Schold in the 06 will round out the top 20. And then Donna Vieira in the 21st. Alex Belvans in 22nd. Joel Harleman in 23rd. And in 24th, Andre Region. And rounding out your field here, we have David Porcelli starting 25th. 26th, Mark Rabilis. 27th, Gavin Hibbs in the 95 machine. And our points leader all the way back in 28th, Alexander Van de Sande. He's got some work to do, but again, he has a lot of time to do it. And knowing him, he'll be patient here tonight. We'll see what he can get done. And 29th, Christian Alexio. And 30th, Jess Story. Michael Hosick in 31st. And rounding out your field of 32 drivers here tonight, it's the rookie Brandon Burns. So I should have looked at the flags a little bit closer, but at least from what I've seen off the cuff here, there's got to be at least 3 or 4 different countries representing the Warrior for Peace US 500 here tonight.
Yeah, it's a deep field. And I got to think with Alexander Van Zandt starting at 28th, I think that's a strategic move. I think he's going to let everybody stay in front of him and take themselves out for a while, and he's just going to stay out of harm's way.
Yeah, again, these Indy cars a lot more fragile than the stock cars you generally see here on the Elite Racing Network. And so patience is going to be a virtue here tonight. And we'll see how these 32 drivers get it done. And we are about a couple corners away from taking the green flag here in the Warriors for Peace US 500. Thank you all for tuning in. And then sit back, relax, enjoy the show. Should be a good one. The pace car is going to get ready to dive on to pit road. I believe is that a Cadillac out there? That's nice looking.
Now, I believe in this series they'll go green now when the pace car pulls off. They'll use an extended pace lap for restarts.
I totally forgot about that. They got to warm up the tires. I think they're
so they are green.
Oh, they are green. Oh,
yep. For the first start only, they go when the pace car comes off.
Okay, there we go. I miss her.
It confuses every time. So.
So now we are green flag racing. Dude, gets a good start off the bat here. And right behind him, Nick DeGroot and Musselman battling for second position. But you see that draft, a huge key, that slipstream, I believe. Slipstream is, I think, what they call it here in IndyCars. And AJ Musselman will power to the lead. Looks like he's going to come down lead lap number 1. 250 more to go. There's going to be a lot of lead changes here tonight. Should be an exciting one indeed. And now you see Thomas Geisler in that 61 on the bottom of the racetrack trying to work his way up front. Nothing doing at the moment. And right now they single file out. And, we talked about patience being a virtue and Alexander Van de Sant starting the back. But once you're up front, you got a shot to lead a race. I think at that point, it's just all or nothing. You got to go for it.
Yeah, early on, it looks like the second car back gets a nice jump anyway. So, yeah, they're probably going to swap lead probably twice or at least twice a lap now.
And sometimes if you can time it right with another driver, I believe that's even a little bit faster in these Indy cars that go around the racetrack, as Sudik does retake the lead. And Musselman now moving into second position, battling with Geisler side by side out of turn 4. And now our pole sitter will lead his first lap here of the night. We are on lap 4 of 250, and this jockeying for the lead is intense. And if you time it right, you can be a little bit faster, but man, one little slip up, it could be a bad story, especially right in front of this field, packed pretty tight. Could get interesting. I think in 5th, that is Pinero choosing the almost the Kyle Larson line right against the wall. Interesting. I think he's just kind of searching for the draft slipstream. He's going down to the inside. He's going to try to move up into the top 5, and he will do so. Moving up into the 4th position as these guys up front ahead of him still battling it out, exchanging the lead side by side. Sudik takes it back. Oh, that could have been bad. Nice save for Pinero. And coming down to lap number 5, Sudik once again still holding on to the top spot as they cross the line. I believe one car off the pace there on the apron. I believe that is.
Looks like Alex Rignon. Looks like he came into the pits.
Yeah, might have came in the pits. Currently scored 5 laps down, I believe.
I believe he probably started in the pits, and he's just now getting out on the track.
Getting out. And sometimes that might be one of the better spots to start, depending on how this night goes. But so far, early in the going, everyone seems to be biding their time, except for these leaders who are putting on quite a show up front here with Sudik leading the pack. Geisler moving into second place in that. If I'm not mistaken here, that kind of looks like one of those the Gulf kind of liveries there.
Yeah, it does have that Gulf color to it, kind of like the McLarens.
Yeah, it's a very beautiful color combination. I think, man, that's had to be around since what, the 60s or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a classic livery to go by. And then I think Chad always likes to go with the throwback colors there. I believe that's I don't know IndyCar well enough, but.
A little bit of Rahal-ish.
Yeah, it kind of looks Rahal-ish, but it almost, part of it looks like maybe a little bit older numbers. I know he has the Rahal number 15 on his car as well, but almost making contact with Sudik, and he now moves into second position right behind Nick DeGroot, who worked his way up into the lead. DeGroot will lead that lap, but Frankenfield, he wants to lead this time, but next time by, tries to look to the outside, But now he has Sudik battling on the inside, side by side. And from kind of what I'm hearing, yeah, you have a combination of almost tight on entry, loose in traffic. There's a lot going on, and again, not being the best IndyCar driver. Ooh, Verbilis on pit road right now. Looks like he's getting the service done. Little unscheduled pit stop. And maybe done for the night there. Maybe made contact with a wall. I've done that. I've done that before too, making a select few IndyCar starts myself, and I believe at Auto Club, coming out of the corner, it didn't feel like it hit the wall that hard. They had to pit, and then your night can be done that quickly. It's how fragile these IndyCars are. So it's almost nerve-wracking. So seeing these guys side by side, knowing it could end that quickly if one little thing goes wrong, but still putting on a masterful show now on lap 11 of 250. Oh, looks like Mark's back out. Yeah, I think he rejoined the racetrack. And Nick DeGroot falling back from the lead, now back into the 5th position. Frankenfield, your leader. Geisler 2nd. And Yari running in the 3rd spot. So, I mean, if you were out there, what would your strategy be? Would you be trying to duke it out front here, or would you kind of be laying back and, again, being 500 miles, just trying to save the car till the very end?
Yeah, I think probably top 10 would be my only goal. I wouldn't want to be out front. You're going to burn fuel a lot faster if you go out front. So I'd probably settle back into the 5 or 6 position and just run a good pace and hit my fuel number and see how it goes. But I definitely wouldn't get into that dicing back and forth passing.
Yeah, you always kind of want to stay in touch with those leaders, and save what you can. I feel that, and it seems like especially in the IndyCars, you can save quite a bit of fuel if even just kind of staying around that 10th spot, rolling out of throttle, and obviously setting the fuel mixture properly as well. But one guy I think who's got it running full strength on fuel here, burning it up, Chad Frankenfield, and Yari up front battling for that lead, along with Geisler and Sudik right behind him battling for that 2nd spot. And it looks like Sudik almost got in the back of Geisler coming out of turn 4. And that left the door open for Pinero, now moving into the 4th spot. Geisler now, he's going to try to use that traffic going on the inside, 3 wide for a second there. And oh boy, Geisler was in the middle of a 3 wide situation, got through it down the back stretch. He moves up into 2nd position.
Yeah, see, those top 6 just are swapping positions too much for me, so I think 7th would be right where I would sit.
Yep, just watch all the action from your windshield. I think that'd be very comfortable to be at right now. But knowing a lot of these guys, Pinero, Frankenfield, Yari, Geisler, especially in these Indy cars, they like to be out front. They like to dice it up. And, it's obviously more fun being out here dicing it up. But, again, you gotta try to make it to the end. And I'm sure a lot of these guys will make it to the end up front here, too. They've got a lot of track time, a lot of seat time out here in these Indy cars. And Pinero moving from 2nd to the lead, going down into turn 1. And that bottom side, it can be a little slick, but he makes it work, gets the grip, going to take the lead. And I think just like Daytona Talladega, that might be a little bit too big of a lead. It's going to be, I would be surprised if he leads coming to the stripe here, as Chad does go to the inside. Powers through on the inside. And he's going to lead lap 16.
Only for a few seconds.
Only for he just let it right, and I think one of the things too, you can running up front, maybe early on in the going or later if you're in that position. Sometimes these guys maybe test what kind of scenarios, because all you have to do is lead at the stripe, and obviously these lead changes are happening so much throughout the lap that they're going to try to maybe even test, like Frankenfield here, how far ahead he can get before the pack catches him, if he does make a run, say going into 3, or maybe if you're in 2nd or 3rd, if you're DeGroot or Yari, you might want to see if you can just make a move at the right time and get him at the stripe, kind of setting yourself up for that last lap pass coming down to the end of it, which again, we have a long way to go. As DeGroot's going on that high side, Chad's staying down low. I think DeGroot's going to get a good run here. Can he get him at the line? We're going to see. Oh, DeGroot's going to the inside. That lap, I think DeGroot had it. Indeed, he led that lap. Again, early on here in the going of the Warriors 4-piece US 500. Again, thank you all for tuning in. And you can check out the Warriors for Peace Foundation. They are a foundation promoting peaceful change in the world to honor the beautiful life of Jack Shockley. Check them out at warriorsforpeace.org for more information. Again, thank you for all the sponsors that help put on the show on a weekly basis. So I think for Elite, we can almost say daily basis, pretty much.
Yeah, definitely. Rolling back through the field a little bit.
Go back here through Thomas Geisler, now battling for that 7th spot. Tristan Wood, I think he's kind of running that strategy, Dave, that you were talking about. Just kind of sitting back. He hasn't really mixed it up too much, but he's been right up there in that position. And one thing I actually forgot to ask here pre-race, I'm wondering what the fuel run would be in these cars here at Michigan. It'd be interesting to find out, so we'll maybe find out here in a little bit. And obviously, like you said, guys in the lead might be having a whole different story. Oh, contact! Alexander Van de Sant in the wall. Points leader worked his way up to 12th. Gets in the wall, and we do have a caution out on the racetrack. And oh boy.
This is an off behind it, I think.
That was... Oh, and...
Now let's back that up a little bit, see what happened here.
Looked like an early ill-advised block there. And I believe that was the 27 and of Del Porto. And
we got the 47, Joseph Gravala, too. Kind of comes up high on Van de Sant here. Kind of pinched him to the wall.
Oh, pinched. Yep. Oh, Van de Sant and Del Porto kind of got the worst of that whole ordeal.
Well, that's definitely the risk you take when you start from the back. If you got to work your way forward, you're going to have to go through a lot of them. So it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. It again, kind of comparing it to I guess more what my wheelhouse NASCAR, when they ask you where do you want to run, up front at Daytona Talladega, you're going to run up front, you're going to run in the back. And I've been in a wreck just about everywhere in the middle. It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's a lot of times hard to avoid when these cars are this close together. Looks like Del Porto's night is done. It's going to be interesting to see. And then the 47 ruled at fault. And that is Joseph
We called him Joe.
Joe, yep, just calling him Joe, and apologize for the name there. And so he's at fault still out on the racetrack. We'll see after they hit pit road, because Van de Sant made some pretty significant hit to that wall if he's going to be able to continue here, and that could really shake things up here in the points. Obviously, Van de Sant being the leader, we'll see if all he maybe has to do is change that front wing out, and he'll be good to go. Spending some time here on pit road. Looks like he's still in the car, so that's probably a good sign. I believe after pit stops here, Nick DeGroot coming off pit road in the top spot. There you see him in the factory back Motorsports machine.
Take a quick chance to thank one of our other sponsors. Aegis Worldwide, they are the sponsor of the Crown Jewel events for the IndyCar Series, and this is a Crown Jewel event. At Aegis Worldwide, they take pride in working together and being collaborative with their clients. Their culture focuses on meeting goals, working as a team, and getting better at what they do each day. They have office locations in Indianapolis, Chicago, Detroit, and Nashville. So thank them for sponsoring the Crown Jewel events.
And we'll have another Crown Jewel event to be sponsoring, the Indy 500, May 6th. And yeah, it's a little hometown race for them there. They got that office there in Indianapolis. Pretty cool. So let's see. Van de Sant is back out on the racetrack, so his night does continue. So maybe not a race-ending night. See if how his car will run. Musselman must have been on pit road too for a while. He's fallen all the way back into the 27th position, second to the last car on the lead lap. And there are 28 cars on the lead lap of the 32 cars entered here tonight. I believe Musselman is back down pit road as well. So I'm not quite sure what happened to him, having some issues. Maybe, sometimes a long race, sometimes, maybe a little bathroom break. Under caution. So, hey, sometimes nature calls, and unless you've heard stories of drivers maybe going in their suits or something, but that's one bad thing about iRacing. I'm pretty sure you don't want to go in your computer chair, so gotta hop on pit road and
I think
see if you can make it without losing a lap.
Yeah, I think I learned last week from listening to driver chat that some of them use a bucket. So I think RC, who's done a lot of racing, he uses a bucket. So he was making fun of, I think it was Ethan Burrell had to. He came into pit lane and took a bathroom break.
Yeah, and I believe we're having one here. I think now they're in their warm up lap here. They'll heat up those tires that we were talking about earlier. But we ran the Coke 600, which that'll be coming up here in just a couple weeks here on the Elite Racing Network as well. My whole goal was to get on pit road. I was running about mid-pack and get on pit road and get back in the cockpit before I lost the lap, and I was able to do so. So in a sense, I felt like I won that race that day. A race of a different sort, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes it's the challenging thing of these 250 lap races. They're full distance races. And now I believe, I can't remember, Chad said the speed that they're going to go. I think right now kind of looking right around 110 miles an hour. Kind of get a little bit of heat built up into them. And then they'll go back racing here in just a little bit. Actually, the group, see him hover right around that 90 miles an hour. 90th. Now the field forms up once again. Gonna get ready to go back to green flag racing here on lap 20, coming to lap 27 here. And the group with a pretty good jump. Starting in that restart zone. It's the Geico restart zone. That's a NASCAR sponsorship. We just gotta, it's that blue color. I think we call it like the blue egg restart zone.
There you go.
Gotta go with that. Yeah, boom. And now Pinero looking on the inside of the Groot. Down the backstretch, Frankenfield follows suit going down into turn 3. So it seems like if you're anywhere in that top 5, restarting at any point during this race, you're gonna have a chance to lead the lap coming the next time around. And there's a name, hey, we haven't mentioned all night. Jared Rexing in the 10, looking on the inside of DeGroot. I think he kind of started about mid-pack, and he's working his way into the top 5, throwing his hat in the ring of this lead dance that we've seen all race long here so far. But coming down here to complete lap 28, Chad Frankenfield that led that time by. Who actually was close there between him and Pinero. Now you got about a 6-car battle between Pinero, Frankenfield, Sudik, DeGroot, and Rexing. Sudik, again, the rookie out of the bunch, doing a great job. I'm sure he's got a lot of IndyCar experience on here as well. Again, I think coming into tonight, Sudik, I thought I saw him on the point sheet. Sudik currently 28th in the point standings. Making, I believe, running full time here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. And Frankenfield, I'm still surprised.
Now we got a yellow flag.
Oh, caution is out. Caution is out, yeah. Second caution of the night. And oh no.
Van de Zandt going to be in this again? Oh no.
Oh, this might be a race ender here for Van de Zandt. Getting involved. Dustin Dewar getting involved there in the 32. And I believe, was that Brandon Burns in the 25, maybe? The other car involved. Nope, that was...
The 29.
29. And the 29 is Alexander, the other Alexander out there in the field. Regan? And unfortunately, therefore, our points leader, Alexander Van de Zandt, that looked like some heavy damage. His night might be over along with Dustin Dewar.
Yeah, at some point you start to take the hint and you say, well, maybe I got something better to do.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not your night. And heck, I mean, Alexander's got a little bit of a buffer. And obviously with the drop week, too, it might not hurt him so bad. But obviously not the night that Alexander wanted to see here. And Chad Frankenfield. Currently he's currently 10th in the point standing, so looking to capitalize too off of some of the shortcomings from our leaders. And Del Porto was involved in that last accident, the previous caution. He's second in points, so that's going to be interesting to see if the points shake up. It's always kind of hard to tell early on in the season with the drop weeks, so how each night will kind of affect a driver in the long run. You see Pinero in second position. And the top five relatively staying the same, besides Rexon getting thrown in the mix there. I'm sorry, what was that?
I was going to take a quick chance to give another sponsor read there for how about the series sponsor, Mega Driver. Ethan Reesner on Twitter provides top-notch NASCAR content from past to present. Ethan also provides content from IndyCar to Supercars, so make sure you give him a follow. And thank him for being the sponsor of the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series.
And that's one thing nice to follow Mega on Twitter is he'll pull like these paint schemes up from when you're like a kid, and like, oh man, forgot about that car running. So it's always fun to see some of the history that he likes to share. He is one of the true racing purists out there. That's for sure. And yeah, be sure to check him out. On Twitter. Being
new to the elite family, one of the things they really need to give you when you start is a roster so you can learn everybody's nicknames, because it's really it took me a while to figure out who they were talking about with who's Mega. I have no idea who that is. Or Zeus. Who's Zeus? I have no idea who that is. It takes a while to learn them.
And then it gets to a point where sometimes, when you call Mega Ethan, and I'm like, who?
Who?
What, Ethan Burrell? Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah, we do have a few Ethans, so.
Yeah. So sometimes it's almost just known by Mega now. So we're under our second caution here of the night on lap 33 of 250. Getting ready to go, and for those of you wondering, Chad actually was explaining it here in driver's chat why they warm up their tires, and I believe it's just to kind of reduce the wheel spin or crazy things that kind of cars going out of control on the restarts. And they said never had an accident on a restart, since they implied that rule of the kind of the warm up lap. And I'm just hoping, Dave, I just didn't announce or jinx it though.
Wouldn't it also get around isn't there an iRacing limitation on green flags that you can't pass high? Or is it low? I thought there was one you couldn't pass one way or the other, and it kind of lets you pass either way.
I think, I think it's to pass. You can't pass high. I think generally that's why you see the cars kind of run on that high side on the restarts. But then, then it kind of opens up the whole track there once that caution is out, because I believe that's more of a NASCAR rule that's kind of just spread out through, excuse me, most iRacing, especially on ovals here. So I believe in IndyCar you can kind of pass wherever you please. I believe they're getting warmed up, getting ready to go. Frankenfield's going to lead them to the green here on coming to lap 35. And got to get to the blue egg restart zone. And he'll fire it off, and
away he goes.
Away he goes. We're back under full song here. Lap 35. 250. Pinero, these two, Chad and Pinero, battling for that lead. As of right now, the two hungriest drivers. But right, as I say that, Nick DeGroot, he's like, hey man, I'm hungry too. I want to lead. He goes to the inside with some help from Sudik. He's going to power through, and it looks like he might lead this lap this time by, unless Chad gets a run on the outside. He's got help from Pinero for a little bit there. Looks like the group did lead that lap that time by. But side by side for second place right now, Sudik and Frankenfield. With the group looking in his rearview mirror, trying to figure out what lane he's got to block up front. Man, just a 6-car jostle there, jockeying for position. And DeGroot looks like he might, if I'm not mistaken, if he does, I think he did lead at the line there as well. Sudik did just get by. But this, I don't know, have we seen a driver lead 2 consecutive laps yet here tonight?
Only if they let it like apart at the very end of 2 consecutive laps. They probably lost the lead during those other 2 laps.
Oh, that's fair. Yes. Yeah, I don't think we've had a driver lead throughout the whole.
And that's kind of what you talked about, learning where you lead. If you can get a rhythm where you're always leading at the line, that's what you want, right? So.
Yep.
Oh, contact up front.
Oh, Sudik and Rexing. Oh, Sudik's hurt. He can't steer. He's trying to tell other drivers where he's trying to go. Off the pace. What a tough break for Nick Sudik.
He's on 3 tires.
3 tires. He's trying to get on the apron, trying to limp that car back around. Yeah,
that is not the optimal position for your left front tire.
No. And it did seem like it took a whole heck of a lot of contact. It looks like Rexing as well off the pace, falling back into the 21st position. But I don't know if he has any. It doesn't appear to be too much damage to his car. So it looks like he'll be able to continue. But for Sudik, pole sitter tonight, running in the top 5 early on here in the going. Night is going to end probably a little early here. That's going to be a tough one to fix. Heavy suspension damage with that left front. Oh, it's probably even hard to stop as well as steer the car. But back up front, DeGroot, Frankenfield kind of gap in the field just a little bit as they battle, with DeGroot taking the lead this time by out of turn 4. Or should lead this time by, unless Frankenfield gets a run. See if he times it right. Side by side. Not quite enough. And I think every time you do that, like I think Chad, right out of turn 4, trying to make that move low, didn't quite get there. You take a mental note for next time by, or kind of take these notes in general to kind of add them up and see where you can make these moves for that last lap. That contact with between Sudik and Rexing ruled Ed Racing incident, and it's always crazy that they sometimes drivers will argue 3 wide. You kind of get upset with another driver 3 wide, but it seems like all 3 drivers are always so tempted to be in that situation regardless, especially when you're up front here trying to battle for that lead. And you always want to tell yourself, like, I'm just going to be patient, don't need to go 3 wide. And then, early on in the going here, we've seen this a few times already here tonight in the first 43 laps, plenty of 3 wide racing here. And with all the room here you have at Michigan, it's so tempting to do. Even though sometimes if any little thing goes wrong, even at a wide track here at Michigan, it can end pretty poorly.
And there you see 3 wide again.
So, these drivers are learning,
They always seem to debate who the third person was. It's like, I didn't take us 3 wide.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no. You ask all 3, they all say, oh, he did it. It's a kind of a 3-way pointing triangle there. And, ooh, it looks like Geisler almost made contact with Tristan Wood. And, kind of, again, hearing how these cars can get tight on entry. So sometimes even 2 wide can be a little tricky here. The Irish Hills of Michigan. But up front, DeGroot and Frankenfield still battling it out for the lead. You look out front of Geisler. He's got a good view of all the action. He's in it as well. Battling with Tristan Wood. Geisler currently scored in the 5th position. Tristan Wood, we talked about him being the patient guy. I think he's had enough of it. He's got to take those notes too and see if he can dice through the field, get up to the front. And he sees side-by-side action ahead of him. You see Craig in the 6th position. Oh, that's another new country. That's Germany, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, look at that. Because is there another country that's similar, but the colors are the same, but different orders? I cannot remember. I obviously failed geometry and.
That would be geography.
Geography, yeah, there you go. See, I failed both. And then DeGroot up front. And he's been maintaining that either of these drivers, after seeing Sudik get that damage, it seems like they kind of settled down a little bit here. Again, early on the going, looks like a little smoke going down the backstretch. As DeGroot and Chad, probably the guys that are probably least phased by some of the shortcomings around them. I'm thinking actually Sudik, is he still out on the racetrack? I'm going to check that here. I'd be very surprised if he is back out there. So unless a lot has changed with how much they repair on the Indy cars, because you've seen that left front high up in the air, able to get that damage fixed.
In the real world, you can't change that.
Yeah, and actually we do see Alexander, and just a note, points leader Alexander Van de Sant out there. And ooh, I think we had a car in the grass.
Yep, spinning.
In the back here. That was Mark Rabilas trying to get it straightened out. Like Dustin Dewar is off track. So currently,
things a little wild there.
Yeah, let's see. My scoring screwed up too, and currently scored 25 cars on the lead lap. Yeah, that'll happen from time to time. I'll be 24 cars on the lead lap. Interesting that AJ Musselman, his Indy Alliance machine, last car in the lead lap, we were just seeing him not too long ago. dicing it up front. Curious to know see what happened with his car, but maybe he's just kind of sitting there, kind of collecting himself, trying to be around to the end. There you see Rexing just ahead of him as well.
Now, Musselman did pit about 10 laps after everybody else. Most everybody on the first strategy pitted at lap 23 for that caution. Musselman came in on lap 33 about 10 laps later. Dropped him back.
Unless he has a really good race strategist, this could be part of the game here. Try to stretch that fuel out. And save a little bit, as we were talking on the beginning of the race here. But again, the guys not saving fuel, guys up front. Nick DeGroot, Chad Frankenfield still dicing it up. As they catch a lap car. I believe that's going to be... Yeah, I'm not sure who that is up ahead.
Looks like Mark Rebelus.
Rebelus?
Yep.
I always say his name wrong, too. I think he's another guy. I think I pronounce his name differently every time. Rebelus. I believe last time I announced I had to say it like 7 times just to try to remember how to say it. And obviously that didn't work. But he's currently scored 25th, 2 laps down as leaders go by. To complete lap number 52. And Frankenfield, he tried to time that one late. And sometimes it's always crazy how different, how close you can be, how far away. It's different here for IndyCars, especially generally what I've been through. It's always kind of fun to watch the different moves you can make and when to time them. And there's stuff like the weight jackers these guys deal with to try to make the car handle a little bit better through the turns, which was something I didn't learn the first couple times I made IndyCar starts, and I wondered why I struggled. That was one of them. There's Gavin. His car looked very similar to Frankenfield.
That's identical to a Ray Hall. That's United Reynolds, so that's a Ray Hall car.
And I think now I know why Frankenfield might have a little bit of that gold in his livery, is probably to differentiate the two. And now completing lap 54. Chad, it seems like he's moving at the same spot past couple laps. This might be just kind of to maintain your speed, because he was letting me know too. It can be hard to make up some time in the draft, and I know at Indy too they try to time this up to keep those laps faster. So that might be a strategy to kind of keep this 5, 6 car group. A 5 or 6 car group and not let anyone else catch them. Seems like he's working down inside, going into turn number 1 here. He'll take the lead once again. You can see like the way these guys, DeGroot and Frankenfield, are kind of working together. You see Tristan Wood back in 3rd, not quite able to kind of close that gap, as we've seen earlier in the runs. When you have kind of a bigger pack, the 5, 6 car dicing it up. And it's always weird, too, in the IndyCar that the handling doesn't change maybe as drastically as it does in a stock car, but it does certainly lose just enough grip where you'll see the field spread out. Was that DeGroot say they were making some haste?
Yeah, I think they're trying to catch the pack.
Yeah, they're trying to work it out and try to make up some of that time.
I mean, the two of them leapfrogging each other. They're trying to pull away from the rest of them.
Now, yeah, I think Tristan Wood, they got it figured out. They're catching the top 2 here pretty quick. And don't look out! Don't look out now. R.C. Enerson in the 75, breaking into the top 5. Surprisingly, a name we haven't mentioned too much here in the broadcast tonight, but here he is lurking, catching that group.
He's on the back of that pack now.
Seeing if they can catch that group. Maybe he'll be dicing with the lead with these other 4 drivers of Frankenfield, DeGroot, Wood, and Pinero. So I believe that first run that we had, now we look in the onboard camera here of Ars Enerson. So we got to what, about lap 30, mid-30s, I believe, when that first caution came out. So we know they're going to be a little bit longer than that on fuel. Interesting to see. See a little bit of downshifting there, I believe, from RC going into the corners. Kind of got the 6 gears, basically like an overdrive kind of slipstream draft kind of gear. So you don't on the engine. I think generally, if you're by yourself, which, you know, I'm sure you're hoping you won't be in this race, you'll be probably staying in that 5th gear. But when you're in the draft, you shift it up into 6th, and I think you'll still see them hit that limiter almost going into turn number 1. You see Pinero now moving up into the 3rd position, passing Tristan Wood. But up front, that leapfrog game that DeGroot and Frankenfield are playing, that's strategy right now, working pretty well for them. As you know, these guys have gotten close, in Wood, Pinero, and Enerson, but they haven't quite got there to make a move to the front. But Pinero's got to be getting close now, going into turn number 1. Running that high side, and it looks like Enerson moving up into the 4th position, past Tristan Wood. Seeing if he can maybe join the game of leapfrog with the 2 leaders. It seems like they can close going to turn 1, but through the rest of the track, looks like Frankenfield DeGroot able to kind of maintain that pace, kind of maybe even pull away a little bit. Lap 63. Again, you're tuning in to the Elite Racing Network for the Warriors for Peace US 500. And I got to ask you, Dave, if you do know, when was the last time you've seen IndyCars at Michigan? Was that in the late 90s?
Yeah, that would have been during the split. Art was running up there. I want to say 98, maybe? Look that up.
Wasn't that, and that was kind of their, wasn't that one year where they boycotted the Indy 500? We see DeGroot, leader, coming down pit road. Ooh. Try to check up, get under pit road speed.
Yeah, the initial US 500 was during the split, and then, yeah, they were boycotting the Indy 500, and they ran the US 500 on the same day. Of course, that turned into quite a show with a giant crash coming to the green flag, and they ended up letting them put backup cars out there. It wasn't a great day for open wheel racing.
Yeah, I believe I actually watched a YouTube video about that. There's some great historians on YouTube who kind of documented that day. Kind of a wild day indeed. Kind of almost similar to the 2001 Winston, where, especially in a points-paying race. Ooh, close contact in the back. R.C. Anderson on the apron.
Like he's gathered
he
it
was
up.
able to save it. But I think that might have been the was that Del
Tristan
Porto?
Wood. Oh, Del Porto and Tristan Wood got into the car in front of him.
Wood having to make some evasive action. R.C. Anderson able to hang on to it.
Kind of parted ways, and Tristan Wood right between the two of them, between Del Porto and Enerson. And
Tristan Wood currently now in 2nd spot. Frankenfield came down pit road this time by, I believe, Bruno Miranda, Rexing, Vera, and Hasek are currently out pit road. You see Chad getting underway. Be curious to see where he comes out relative to DeGroot, who was those 2 guys leading the race before these green flag pit stops began. He's under pace, I think, right there's DeGroot. So, looks like that worked out pretty good for both drivers, able to stick with each other. DeGroot using some of the lap traffic to pull away from Chad here a little bit, but I'm sure they'll be close together soon enough. There you see Pinero, Enerson, Craig down pit road.
And back up front and give it a new face on the front.
Yeah, some of these guys the guy's probably saving fuel a little bit better. Eric Troiano. Now he'll dive down pit road. And Joe Ritter will follow suit. I believe that might inherit the lead to Murphy. I think he's coming down pit road as well. Because now Ryan Schold is your new race leader. I think might be battling side by side there. Or no, right behind him.
Now Musselman is going back to the top.
Yeah, he made it back into the top 5.
Now he should be due to come in about 10 laps if that plays out right.
So yeah, that might have been the strategy here. Now he will inherit the lead with Ryan and Mark going down pit road. But now I think the only bad thing about this strategy is he's a sitting duck right now. No drafting help whatsoever. Maybe hoping that maybe some lap traffic will be nearby to suck up to a little bit. See if he can do so. You know, we were talking about the Blue Egg marketing, the Blue Egg Restart Zone, and a little bit about Blue Egg. They are the marketing department for small businesses, and trying to find their read here. And their small business, we're your marketing department. Small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan, and go check them out at blueegg.com, I do believe. Try to read that. I might have had to screw that up on my copy and paste job there, but I apologize. Go check out Blue Marketing. You know what they say, Dave? Bad publicity is any publicity is publicity.
You still said their name lots of times.
Yeah. So yeah. They're just gonna be like, what was he talking about? I'm just gonna Google it. So Musselman should be coming down pit road, maybe a handful of laps here. And
so the decision now is for Frankenfield and DeGroot and Pinero is, do they want to run down Musselman or do they want to sit and save and just let you know he's going to have to come in? So chasing him down really doesn't play much of a role.
Yeah, I think right now
24 seconds.
It looks like that gap is relatively stable. Kind of surprised without the help of a draft. He's been kind of able to maintain that pace a little bit. I thought maybe a pack would run him down a little bit quicker. So curious to see what happens. And see Musselman coming down pit road now. So Pinero will take the lead, able to work himself around our two leaders before pit stop started, Frankenfield and DeGroot. Well, now as I say that, I think Chad retook the lead or the top spot over Pinero, or the second spot currently, as they've yet to pass Musselman on pit road. Now they do. And you see back up front here, lap 75 of 250. Laps ticking down here pretty quick. And just a point of reference here, the speeds these guys are going. Looking at Frankenfield at the moment, currently running 216 miles an hour just coming out of the corner. See, top speed 223 miles an hour before going into the corners. So these laps go by pretty quick for a 2-mile speedway here.
Yeah, looking down through there, you look at Justin Fortner, who had a top speed of 241. Those are numbers you just don't see in IndyCar anymore.
Wow, yeah.
we're hopeful that they'll come back someday. But
Yeah, it seems like generally a lot of racing series, it seems like they're going to the way of slowing them down a little bit. But I think that kind of always rubber bands a little bit. They'll slow them down for a generation or so, then they'll decide, hey, maybe we should speed them back up. The ever evolving world of racing. I think there's probably a lot of IndyCar fans that never would have thought they would have seen an IndyCar with kind of a cockpit or the what do they call that?
The aero screen. Yeah, the aero screen.
The aero screen, yeah.
Yep.
So kind of something still relatively new. I think it's been out for what now, close to 4 or 5 years, I believe.
No, actually, I think this is the second full year
really?
of aero screen. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because last year they had the growing pains of trying to deal with it with the heat and running at some of the road courses that don't get a lot of airflow. Haven't heard too much about that this year, so I think they finally had an off season of being able to innovate some of their air hoses into their helmets and getting some of that air moving around a little more.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't realize it was that new. Maybe it was just something that I know they've talked about it for years, so that might have been.
Yeah, they took their time looking at the halo that F1 used, and they decided between the aero screen and the halo, and then they had a couple of years ago they had we got a wreck. We got big wreck.
Caution is out.
Musselman.
The whiskey kiss.
Somebody gets into the back of him.
Ooh, is that green car? Musselman didn't look like he got it too bad. Oh, but he comes back down in front of Murphy.
Christian Alexio also involved.
Heavy damage back wing dangling off of the rear end.
Trying to see who that is. Michael Hosak got into the back of Musselman there.
Yeah, just didn't time that draft out properly, and oh man, both guys riding the wall.
Oh, look at that barrel roll for Jeff Story. Oh, we gotta look at that one on a in-car. Might make you sick.
Yep, if you're prone to seizures, look away. Just getting that wheel hop, and here we go. Here's the ride. If Story never performed a cartwheel before in real life, I think
he has in a car now.
Yeah, he's got it virtually down here. But unfortunately for him, it's probably going to end his night. But hey, at least if you go out, you got to go out with a little exciting action, and I think even Hosak and Jess could say that is the case for them.
That's one you got to clip and count your spins. I mean, I'm up to 15, 16, 17. Yeah.
And lands on all four wheels. That's a beautiful. That could be in the Olympics. There, that was pretty beautiful. Cartwheeling, tumbling. I believe that's what they call it. And he literally did that. Coming off pit road, Frankenfield going to stay in the lead. The 06 counted at fault there. That was Ryan Schuld. I believe he was the car ahead. He might have been the one ahead of the kind of the whole ordeal there, and maybe had some checkup that might have brought that contact between Hosak and Musselman.
Yeah, I think the 6 was the car that Musselman had to check up for.
And oh man, Musselman stays off the wall. Some heavy damage to his machine.
Oh, don't want to show any more Jess Story. He's already had enough trauma.
But hey, we see Sudik and Van de Sant, still out on the racetrack, still running. So some of those guys involved in that wreck, there's still some hope. But man, I would be surprised if Jeff Story after that tumble would be able to get that thing fixed and go back out there. some of these guys getting some of this damage fixed. I think this is where, there's always that debate. Is this a simulator? Is this a game? Because, a lot of these cars with some of the damage they had, I don't, like you said, I don't think they'd be back out there in real life.
A couple of those cars in front of Chad Frankenfield on the radio, they need to pit. They're out of fuel. They're trying to get the wave around, but the race control's holding them back a little bit.
I think maybe looks like they might have just let them by now. See if they can get it on pit road in time to stay on the lap they are currently down. See if they get on pit road. It looks like Van de Sant does make it.
He must have been the one who was low on fuel.
And he is scored in the 27th position. Currently scored 4 laps down. And Chad reminding the drivers, as well as myself, they're not going green this time. They'll do that warm-up lap. Get back going next time by. Get up to about 90 miles an hour. Put a little bit of heat in those tires.
Talk about another one of our sponsors, Powerhouse Recycling. And I got to move that out of the way so I can read it. Powerhouse Recycling strives to offer the highest level of customer service in the industry for each load processing time and time again. Attainable count representatives and on-time pickups and customized recycling solutions keep Powerhouse Recycling as North Carolina market leader in customer service. They believe in customer service during and after the processing of clients' materials. Strongly believe through their superior customer service, customized recycling, and complete transparency, they can earn their clients' business and hold longevity in our business relationship. We want to thank Powerhouse Recycling for being one of our premier sponsors for across all our series this year.
Yep, it's able to do what we do here on a weekly basis. We're going to get ready to go back green. Hit that other premier sponsor, Blue Egg Restart Zone. Oh, looks like a little bit of a mix-up there as Pinero dives the inside. Chad's going to take him back up to full song here. That will move Enerson into the second position. And that'll give a big lead for Chad. But once this draft forms up, they should catch him in a pretty quick hurry. Enerson worked his way up. Started about mid-pack, I do believe. Oh, actually outside of the top 10. Hasn't led a lap here today. He could lead one very soon as he's closing in on the back bumper of the 15. He's going to take a look to the inside going into turn number 1. Able to clear him, take the lead, see if he can lead it at the important part of the lap at the stripe.
Smoke there. Let's see what we had to off.
See Rexing, who's
wiggling a little bit.
Wiggling, yeah. I think he's had some damage to his car. Probably not handling as great as it could. And doesn't look like he's going to hit anything.
Yeah. I drive that back in.
I think he's currently down pit road at the moment. Probably having some issues with the car there. See Rexing rolling down pit road. So, I don't know if I want to mention this, but I won't give anything away for you, Dave. But we also have March Madness going on right now, and you're a Purdue alum, and all I gotta say, I'm hoping you're DVRing this game. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
At the moment.
That's good. I'll take that as a good sign.
Yeah, it might neither be good or bad, but it's just good.
Okay.
Or not good, but it's entertaining. But back up front, we got an entertaining race here as well as RC Enerson, battling Chad Frankenfield for the lead. See who leads this time by. Chad's going to look on the inside. Not quite able to get there this time. As Eric Troiano, the newcomer into the top 5 in his number 14 machine. Guys who have been generally up front most of the race here: Frankenfield, Pinero, DeGroot, 2nd through 4th at the moment. Completing lap number 88. Side by side. First 4 positions. Duking it out here. Sometimes even how quick you have to be on the wheel here, and how fast these cars are going, and some of the cautions we've seen, how things can go smoothly. Generally in stock cars, you'll see these cars here at Michigan spread out quite a bit and kind of just ride it out. But here you gotta be paying attention. Kind of similar to a Daytona Talladega, it could be probably more mentally draining than anything else. I know times at certain tracks I know it's only virtual racing, but you might get leg cramps or something from trying to roll out of the throttle, stuff like that in these full distance races. But I'm thinking here in this here at Michigan, running 250 laps here in IndyCar, it's probably gonna be more mentally draining, trying to stay in that draft, trying to stay off of the guy ahead of you, trying to pass at the right time, not make contact. A lot going on, especially with these top 2 guys. We've seen Frankenfield, DeGroot, Frankenfield, Enerson battling up front, trying to make these lead swaps without making a mistake. So far up front, these guys have been doing a pretty good job handling that business. Lap number 92 now. And DeGroot, I think he wants to. He misses being in that party. We've seen him up there before. Kind of shuffled back just a little bit, trying to work his way up into that 3rd position, trying to join the RC Enerson Frankenfield battle for the lead. It looks like maybe Rexing trying to stay up top. On the racetrack, Enerson trying to get that draft off the back of the 10 machine. The group now looking to the outside. He looked like he got a pretty good run. Might lose that a little bit. He's going to have to try to clear Rexon coming out of turn number 2. Looks like he'll be able to at least get it done going into 3. And now it looks like we have a 3-car battle officially for that top spot. Kind of a breakaway a little bit here between Enerson, Frankenfield, and DeGroot. And I think if I'm Nick, I'll let Enerson and Chad kind of battle it out. I'll kind of fold the old Dave strategy here. I'll ride behind these boys and try to save a little bit of fuel. As we are in lap 94 of 250.
I think looking at the lineup, if you look down in 6th place, Craig Forsyth, I think he's consistently decided to not be any higher than that spot. He's had good speed, but he'll get to right there, and that's good enough. He can see everything from there. He's only 0.4 of a second back from the lead, so yeah, he can get there.
Yeah, he can get there, and yeah, race. I think it's a race strategy move, and especially now as we got Bruno Miranda up in the 4th spot, kind of throwing his hat in the ring here as well. As we get more cars up there in the top 5, and that's where we get see that three wide action, and sometimes things go awry in those scenarios. So I think for Forsyth, just kind of sitting back there and just enjoying the show a little bit, and when it's time, I'm sure we'll see him dicing it up there with the leaders. You see him. I like the gold wheels. That's a nice touch. Big fan of that. And then right behind him, Troiano. We've seen him up in the top 5 a little bit. Maybe he's done that, did that, and now he's sitting there riding back in the 7th position. And then behind him, even Justin Fortner in the number 12. And Tristan Wood even behind him as well, who was up in the top 5 earlier, kind of, I think, trying to settle in a little bit here. And then rounding out your top 10, the rookie David Porcelli having a good run here, as so far 17 cars on the lead lap. And our pole sitter Nick Sudik is the first car lap down. He is 2 laps down. And we've seen that heavy suspension damage, able to get back out there and run some laps, get some value bonus points, and might end up with a halfway decent run. We can keep that car running the rest of this race. You know, we've seen guys like even talking about guys Van de Sant, which I actually don't see him on the scoring sheet. Oh, right, he's 19. No, where
25th.
25th. There he is. Wow, I can't read. And trying to gain a few positions and kind of hovering right around that 25th spot, trying to get what he can. And if I'm not mistaken, is Story back out of the racetrack?
No.
No, okay. I thought I might have seen that on the scoring sheet. I was going to say, wow, that would have been pretty impressive if he was. After a pile, we see Rebelus
is gone too.
Off the racetrack as well. So not many cars left running. Some cars retiring early from the event here. And R.C. Enerson, Chad Frankenfield still duking it out front. Nick DeGroot just kind of hanging in there watching the show. Yeah, Forsyth, I think now, you know, I think we talked about him only going up to 6th spot. Finally moves up into, or 6th, now moving up to 5th. Maybe feels like it's time. We're getting kind of close here to halfway, just about 25 laps until we hit halfway. Maybe trying a few things, experimenting, see if he can get up to the front. Breaking into the top 5, just passing Pinero in that 6th position. Now Pinero, he wants back in. He wants back in that top 5. Currently, you know, I think, again, settling in here, but I believe all the way back to about 11th position. You maybe even count Donna Vera in 12th. Kind of all within striking distance. If we were about 100 more laps in, then they might tighten it up a little bit, but all within earshot, getting back up and making a run for the lead. I think even Yari behind him. So it's given to me back to 13th. A lot of cars still in contention in this Warriors for Peace US 500. And I forgot to mark down what lap they came down pit road, but we got to be getting pretty close to green flag pit stops here.
Yeah, the bulk of them came on lap 80. So we've been 24, and they went almost 40 last time.
I was about half, probably a little past halfway in the fuel run.
And everybody on the lead lap's on the same fuel.
Yeah, the guy who tried doing the little bit different strategy, the 54 Musselman, I believe currently scored 25 laps down. He's another driver that is retired from the event.
Yeah, he was involved in that one accident. He messed up.
So not quite being able to see how that strategy performed, but it looked like he had something going for him. But back up front, R.C. Enerson and Chad Frankenfield still doing the lead swap. Frankenfield leads that time by. I think you have 2 drivers there too, that in Enerson and Frankenfield, that, you know, I gotta wonder. They're very prideful drivers, so I think there's probably 2 games going on, just trying to maintain that speed, stay as fast as possible. But I'm sure there's at least a friendly competition right now to see who can lead at that stripe. See this time, Frankenfield hangs on to it.
And they're not technically teammates in this series, but I know they are in others, so they still work well together.
Yeah, generally, I believe formerly of 90 Motorsports. I think now they run with White Lightning Racing.
Dad's running with Little Eagle for IndyCar.
A Little Eagle. Generally, sometimes those teammates, they can spread across pretty far and wide. The little alliances or whatnot that can go together, and I'm sure R.C. Enerson and Frankenfield are doing just that.
They spread yourself out. You can information gather from all of them because they'll talk about everything no matter what they're practicing.
Yeah, and it's always good to have the more minds working together because you could talk to one driver and what they're telling you just maybe isn't quite working with what your driving style is, and the more information you can get, the better off you are. And right now, working very well for Enerson and Frankenfield at the moment. Going to be completing lap 109, coming to 110. And Enerson, I know he ran last year a car or the livery that was based off of his Indy 500 attempt. I don't know do you know if that's a livery that Enerson maybe raced in real life?
Yeah, it was the Top Gun one. Unfortunately, he switched last week because they made the announcement that Top Gun had ended their relationship with RC, so there was nowhere for that to go. So RC switched over the last 2 races to, I believe that's the Lucas Oil School of Driving, which is he works for, and I believe his family owns that, so that's his sponsor now on his IndyCar.
Kind of unfortunate hearing that relationship falling through, and
yeah,
hopefully he
picks the financials of IndyCar sometimes comes and goes.
Yeah, financials in any form of racing, It seems like got to have those dollar bills to keep it going. But hopefully we'll see him on a racetrack. I think it seems like RC. He dabbles his toes in just about anything. I think we've seen him in a Cup car last season at I believe at Watkins Glen for Rick Ware Racing. And I know he's made a few starts in the Xfinity Series, I believe, as well. So who knows if we'll see, hopefully see RC back out on the real racetrack. But right now, virtually out front, leading Chad Frankenfield. In the second position, currently catching lap traffic.
Michael Hosack.
That is Michael Hosack. He is currently scored in the 24th position. And scoring is a little screwed up there, but I believe he is 9 laps down, but now maybe 10. And yeah, he's in that last caution we had. He had some pretty heavy damage. He went through kind of a barrel roll. Didn't quite have the flips that Story had, but I think pretty lucky that his car is still running there. You see Van de Stant still soldiering on.
He's just coming out of the pits. He came in on lap 100.
Probably just trying to get some fresh tires, keep it going, and seeing what he can get if more people happen to fall out of the race. And Alexander, he's a teammate of mine in the NASCAR series, and one thing I always got to teach is grit. You gotta never know what you can salvage if you run out there. A lot of times it might not be fun, but you never know. Especially being the points leader, how tight these points can get. That it could come down to you coming back out in a race and just gaining a couple spots. And that could pay off dividends in the long run. Now Frankenfield back out front of R.C. Enerson. But R.C. Enerson wants to make me a fool, and he goes back to the inside. And I think even if you're DeGroot, we've seen him battling with Frankenfield earlier on in this race. I think now as your the job of you in this drafting scenario too is just to kind of sit back there and ride. If you get that 3-car battle of a leapfrog game going on, I think that's when you see guys like Bruno Miranda in that 4th position, and Pinero and Forsyth. That's when they catch up. So they kind of want to pull away as far as they can. And there you see Miranda, I think currently back a little over half second, about 0.6 of a second, almost 0.7 of a second now behind leader Chad Frankenfield. And still a shot for them to catch that group ahead of them for sure. Going through the top 10 here, Craig Forsyth. Now he's back in his wheelhouse there, 6th spot.
Yeah, back in his 6th.
He got that taste of the top 5. Joa Ritter in 7th. Eric Troiano running in that 8th position. Catching Del Porto a couple laps down there in 19th. And Yari having a good run there in the top 10. Tristan Wood, you've seen him right up front, but now currently scored in the 10th spot. David Porcelli in 11th. Rookie driver out there. I think the highest running rookie at the moment is we've seen Donna Vera and Justin Fortner. 13th. Ryan Schold in the 06 and 14th, currently on the lead lap. Joel Harleman, and that's another rookie driver, having a good run, 15th on the lead lap. And there's old Joseph in 16th.
Let's try that last name, Grijalva.
Grijalva. I like that. I'll go with that. Grijalva. And 16th, I believe pit stops are forming, and then there's Alex Belvans. I always say his name wrong, also.
Yeah,
and
people put like an extra A in their Balavans.
Yeah, and it's sad because I've raced with him for probably about 3 years now. You think I could get his name right one of these days? Not today, Alec. And I think it took me a while to realize it's Alec, not Alex. So there's that.
Sounds like the leaders are getting ready to come in.
Yep, they're going to come down pit road. You see Harleman coming down pit road himself. So the group looks like he's going to inherit this lead with your leaders coming down pit road. We might see some of the top 5 coming down pretty quick here, but able to maybe save a little bit more fuel than the top 2 have. And the 89 of DeGroot is going to be coming down this time by. See Chad, see how he pulls on to his pit box here. Whew. You always hate to be in that position. You got the onboard camera going on when he's coming down pit road. That's what the announcer's jinx could happen and slide through the pit box. So luckily we didn't do that for Chad. So he's able to roll off. Currently holding on to that 10th position. Live scoring, I believe, if that's accurate. Sometimes it's been racing glitchy just a little bit. We'll see how this all unfolds as green flag pit stops are underway. And Porcelli, he's using like official terms on the radio, saying boxing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely not the Southern NASCAR talk. Ooh, looked like Pinero got a little loose, or car got a little upset. And that led Joa Ritter to take the lead here. It looks like he's going to give that spot back. Maybe. He's going to choose the inside line. He might be pitting this time. See if they, I believe Joe might be coming down pit road along with Pinheiro and Troiano and Forsyth as well. Ooh.
Those two cars
those
have
guys-
to be on the same team.
I was actually literally thinking that as well. If not, that was it's like when you go to work or school and you're dressed up as or dressed in the same outfit as another person. Like, did you guys call each other? No. But yeah, must be on the same teammates. They're getting their pit service done, and that should cycle the lead back around to Frankenfield and RC once they come by. But these guys, Pinheiro, Ritter, and Forsyth, might be in the mix if they can get up to speed quick enough. They'll probably tuck in right behind the 90 of Miranda. A green and white car right behind RC and Frankenfield. As they're back to their leapfrogging antics, and now they picked up a newcomer. And one guy who kind of lost a bunch of positions, and I heard there might have been a little incident about losing the draft. That might have been Nick DeGroot, who came in third, and now fallen back into the 8th position, but he does have friends around him, so he'll able to stay up in competitive fashion here. He's battling with... Oh, wow, man, just that quickly. Just past halfway. Frankenfield RC currently up front. DeGroot battling with Yari and Eric Troiano. Have you ever tried to pronounce Yari's last name? Is it just Brupacker? Yeah. I never tried, because generally, you know, we're racing together, and I just Yari and the long B last name, Brupacker. I added B's there. An H or something. I added a bunch of different letters, and woo, getting tight. With that battle with Forsyth. Side by side with Yari. Going down into turn number 1. And what flag is that? Where is Yari from? Yeah, that's a... Yeah, that might be might be the homework there behind the scenes, but again, something I should know. Racing with Yari for a few years now as well, having that good run, battling with DeGroot for that 6th position at the moment, and up front, I think you still have the leapfrog going with RC and Chad. The battle right now on track. They're kind of in a different pack here too, so they're kind of doing the same kind of leapfrogging between Yari and DeGroot, try to see if they can catch the 92 of Joel Ritter. Would be in the 5th position, and I believe they're about a little over half a second behind that pack. Might even be a little bit farther here yet too. I'm gonna have to take a peek. And my scoring's all screwed up here. I gotta straighten this out. Oh, caution is out on here on lap 130. So just as steps out, and oh, does he stay off the wall? Little contact. Yeah, I can't do it. Yes, his car must have been handling not the best. And I don't know how realistic this is to real life Michigan, but knowing how this track handles here on iRacing, it's the warnings here. Okay, there's making sure everyone's tight on the restarts here. I thought maybe something interesting was going on there, but that bottom line, it seems like here in iRacing can really loosen a car up, and from what it sounds like, from an IndyCar standpoint, I believe Alexander Van de Sant did at one time inform me it's something that you generally wouldn't see in real life IndyCar, but at least on the simulator here of iRacing, that's certainly the case, and look like that's what got Murphy into trouble there. Looks like his night might be done here for the night. Currently scored 21st, 6 laps down. You see pit stops being performed. I think one car did stay out, and that was the 33 of Forsyth. Might be a strategy of just leading a lap here. We'll see if he comes in next time by. Looks like DeGroot had a good pit stop. I don't know, maybe yeah, very long pit stop indeed. Wonder, could be speeding down pit road. Curious is, yeah, he's still being held on pit road. As DeGroot, Frankenfield, Miranda, Pinero, Ritter, Yari, Troiano, Porcelli, and Fortner. Oh, wow. So RC looked like he had a shot to win. Very curious to know what happened there with RC. His night's over. And who knows with RC? He's probably, Friday night, probably got a text like, "Hey man, we're at the bar." It is. I'll just let you. I'm going to let you know this. They're currently on commercial break, so there's that. But Craig Forsyth staying out. Again, probably factoring in maybe it wasn't too long. And probably doesn't. It doesn't. With pitting here under caution, probably doesn't prevent him from making any less pit stops. They probably still have to make the same amount of pit stops as the guys who came down pit road. Decided maybe to lead a few laps here, stay out front, get that track position. And I believe here, I don't think they start him like NASCAR, and they'll also be between him and Nick DeGroot in second once they go back to green, which I think now maybe only one car might be between him and DeGroot. So that a little bit of a gap, which if he can keep pace, which I'm sure might get out of the way and let the leaders battle it out, but yeah, see the pace car diving off. We'll take our warm-up lap. So you actually see that lap car going down pit road with the pace car. So that will put second place DeGroot right behind Forsyth once we go back to green flag racing. Another sponsor too that's been around for quite a while here with Elite Racing, so always good to see them supporting us virtual racers out here. As Forsyth's going to be close to that blue egg restart zone, lead them back to green. See the field tightening up. We see Forsyth hitting the loud pedal here pretty quick, and here he goes. Getting up to full song here. Man, it's crazy how fast they go in third gear almost 204th gear for 200 miles an hour out of the 6 gears that they have. Now DeGroot trying to take that lead. Frankenfield making it 3 wide. It looks like Forsyth backs off. And now it's going to be DeGroot and Frankenfield. Once again, his other dancing partner that Frankenfield had up front before RC joined the mix. And again, he did drop out of the race. Currently scored 20th, 4 laps down. Now, man, what a battle we have up front. 3 wide almost again, as Pinheiro trying to get up front into the second spot side by side with DeGroot. I think all these guys now want to be leapfrog partners up front with Chad. They're trying to settle it out as Pinheiro does get into second, DeGroot in third. And now Forsyth trying to battle with the 90 and 92 of Miranda and Ritter. So Pinheiro trying to look, man. Chad went about in that third groove. Pinheiro tried going in that fourth groove on the outside. The top two will remain the same in the meantime until now they go into turn 3. Pinheiro will take the lead. DeGroot moves up back into the third spot. Forsyth kind of sitting back there in the 4th position. Probably trying to save a little bit of fuel. Again, the only driver that did not come down pit road. Guy's on the lead lap, anyway. Group looking on the inside once again. And now Forsyth has, believe, that's Bruno Miranda in that 90 machine, side by side. And man, things are getting, we're not that far past halfway, and it seems like that intensity on this restart already ramping up, and especially maybe for these guys like Forsyth, Miranda, Ritter that kind of lost that lead pack a little bit, showing that urgency to try to stay within earshot of the leaders, as now it's Pinheiro and Frankenfield playing the leapfrog game. I believe Frankenfield led that time by. The group once again in that role, the 3rd place car, but now he's going to have to battle with Forsyth for that 3rd position. Looks like he was going to take a peek, but now, just as quickly as that happened, Miranda looks on the inside, tries to move up into that 4th spot. See all these positions exchanging hands.
Whoa, a little close.
Ooh, boy.
Forsyth came across the back end, almost got into Miranda.
Yeah, that was close there. 16 cars currently scored on the lead lap. And about 1 through 10 under a second. Distance between the two, or the 10 drivers. Bruno Miranda for the most of the first half, kind of biding his time, working his way up into that top 5. Now you see how tight it is. You see first through about 10th right there all on the screen, diving into turn 1. Frankenfield, Pinheiro still playing that leapfrog game. See who leads this time by. Pinheiro looks like it washed up a little bit, got a little tight, it looked like, out of the corner. It looks like his car was upset just a little bit. They'll need Frankenfield to take the lead, and now Bruno going to the inside. He's trying to battle for 2nd spot. Move him into 2nd. The highest I think he's ran all day here. And now he's going to go on the inside for Chad for that lead. He will get it done. Coming out of 4th, see if he can lead this lap. Lap 143, he gets that job done. Now Chad will look to the inside going into turn 1. it looks like it's kind of hard to pass for around that third spot. When that the guy in third kind of tailing the two leaders that are going to be leapfrogging, it seems like it's quite a challenge to pass that car that's just benefiting totally from the slipstream from those two guys. But Miranda was able to get it done just a few laps ago. And Pinero is now in that third spot. The Groot trying to regroup and battle with those top three guys.
Yeah, you kind of need to time it out. If you're in third, when that second person goes to jump the first one, you need to go right behind him and get into second somehow.
Yeah, and Miranda hit it just right. Was able to get up front, take the lead. We're getting close to under 100 laps to go. Just a few more laps. Now, if you're Forsyth, we've seen Musselman do it. We didn't see the gap change too much, but are you worried if you're Forsyth, you're going to be probably pitting, 7 laps sooner than this? Most of these leaders that you're running with right now. Oh, never mind.
Oh, we got a caution.
Caution's out. Scratch all that, as they'll probably more than likely all be hitting pit road here in a minute. And here's Nick Sudik. Kind of spinning. Looks like he might not hit anything here.
A lot of room.
Just yeah. It seems like generally these solo car spins like this are generally those cars that are keeping it low on corner exit. And how slick that bottom is, they just aren't quite able to hang on to it. And looks like he'll be able to continue on in the show here. Currently scored 17th, 2 laps down. Still trying to salvage what he can from the night here. And the tally will go to, as you've seen, Nick Sudik in the 21 from the self-spin. And we see everyone diving down pit road here. In lap 147. So that means probably from here, we're if it goes green, we're likely looking at just one more stop, I'm assuming. Be pretty close. As Bruno hits his pit box, trying to get his pit service completed. He'll lead the race off of pit road. Frankenfield second, Pinero third, Forsyth fourth, and Nick DeGroot rounding out that top 5 at the moment. The rest of the top 10, Porcelli in 6th, Yari 7th, Fortner in 8th, Joa Ritter in 9th, and Eric Troiano will round out your top 10 here at the moment. And if we can get the schedules up for the upcoming elite events? There we go. And we'll be back in action. I believe next Friday night, going to Phoenix here in the IndyCar Series. Trucks this Sunday at New Hampshire. Should be a fun one. I'm looking forward to Lime Rock. It's probably one of the only road courses I'd kind of enjoy doing. And the Cup Series Twin Rig Motegi Oval. We're coming up this Wednesday. Formula One going to next race will be April 17th. Couple weeks off. And then Las Vegas for the Grand National Series. You can always check them out right here on the Elite Racing Network. Also, got a shout out to the sponsors. That sponsor series, obviously, Mega Driver 86, Dixon Smoked Meats for the Truck Series, Join APS, another long-time sponsor here with Elite. And then might be biased here. Again, gotta shout out to Mama, or Shane DiMantova's first. Shane DiMantova, send it with those designs in the Formula One, and then my bias there too, Miss Goodies Goodies Grand National Series.
I know when we started the year, everybody was like, "That's a mouthful to say."
Yeah, it's a lot of times when people ask, generally if they ask for like paint schemes or something, they'll say Xfinity Series, but I try to make the acronym of like the NASCAR Cup Series, NCS, and it's the what is the MGGG
And
NS. I was talking to Chad once, and I'm like, I hope he understands what I'm talking about when I put it, and he got a pretty good kick out of it. But yeah, that is a mouthful. And now they're getting back into the warm-up lap here. Will be one lap to go to green, and we'll have 100 laps to go. Once we get back going, there's the Eric Troiano sitting in that 10th position. And 16 cars on the lead lap. Belvan's the last car on the lead lap, running in 16th position at the moment. And what was it, Joseph? How do we? Now I forgot how we were going to pronounce his name. Joseph Grijalva. Grijalva. Guys like him and Belvez, really, I think just kind of sitting back there, on the tail end of the lead lap, but positioning themselves good for a solid run here tonight. We're about to get back to that blue egg restart zone, getting back under power. And here we go. With Bruno Miranda in the top spot. We'll see how intense this gets now that we're at 100 laps to go in the final stretch of this race here. You see Pinero right on the back wing there of Frankenfield. Trying to push him, and Chad will look for the lead this time by. It looks like he'll lead. Oh man, I think Miranda actually was able to hold him off there for a second at the line, I believe. That was close. That would have been awesome.
That would have been a hell of a finish, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe jockeying back in the back half of the top 5 here between Forsyth, Porcelli, and DeGroot jockeying for position. Side by side again for the lead at the line. These guys, I think Frankenfield's starting to really try to time this out for last second passes. Getting really close at knowing when to dial it up. But now if you're Bruno, if you get into this position, about 97 laps or so, he's got to time either how to defend it or do it himself. And even notes could be taken. Yeah, Chad, I think he's figuring that out. And if you're guys like Pinero, Porcelli, trying to watch and seeing exactly when he's making that move, and trying to see how close he is too when he does pull out and try to pass. See if these guys can do it again here this time by. Frankenfield's going to tuck up and try to make that move at the line. This time might not be in quite the best position to do that, as he was the previous 2 laps. Got jockeying throughout the rest of the top 5. Forsyth working out his way up into the 4th spot, battling side by side with Nick DeGroot, trying to settle that one out yet. And early on in the going, we've seen that 3-wide racing, but definitely these guys staying a lot closer as these laps wind down. Frankenfield back out front. Miranda second. Pinero third. DeGroot in fourth. And Forsyth in fifth. Gotta see if maybe he tries it once more. Maybe he's leaving that in the back pocket there too for Chad to see if he's gonna make that move. And now DeGroot trying to work his way back up in that third position. Looking on the inside of Pinero. Not able to make that pass complete at the moment. He'll sit back in that fourth position. The group, one of the guys that's been up in that top 5 for pretty much most of the race here tonight. Now Forsyth's getting a little bit of a look from Fortner. Trying to break his way into the top 5. I think everything's all about timing here tonight. When you can make these passes and when you can make them cleanly. So far up front, guys like Frankenfield, DeGroot, Miranda here able to get it done. Miranda will lead this lap here. Going to 159 of 250. Going down into turn number 3. For the most part at the moment now, kind of in the run, you want to stay close to that pack. But don't want to be too aggressive, and so far, things going well. Most of these guys up front have been relatively clean for how dicey it can get. Looks like the group kind of wants to get in that third position, but they also want to stay close with our 2 leaders and not lose any time. We are on the onboard view here of Nick DeGroot. I was kind of curious to see this right and left here with DeGroot. See if they can kind of gauge how close you got to be to try to make that pass. Ooh, looks like he was going to take a look. Ooh, car got upset there a little bit. We'll gather it back up, follow right behind Pinero. Let's see how much he can learn from watching Miranda and Frankenfield battle up front, coming to the line. You can get a pretty good gauge. Chad's going to take, he didn't take the peak this time. Well, right at the line this time. So if he was about this close, I think, you know, when Chad was making those moves right at the line, I think there's some information to be gathered there. He's riding it out, settling into that fourth position at the moment. Man, you know, I think the Groot's got probably the best seat in the house right now.
Yeah, he's just going to be patient and wait there and wait for the time to come.
One guy who's not going to be patient, it's going to be Pinero looking on the inside. He's going for the lead. And he's going to take it here on lap 163. And he's been one of the drivers that's been in that position to be aggressive and make those moves. He's moving up into the top 2, battling with Frankenfield down into 3. And now DeGroot says, hey, maybe my door's open. Try to battle up front there. He's going to try to move in that third spot. Wasn't quite able to get the run out of 4. And now,
Porcelli he got a good run on him.
The rookie. I was saying Selly. Did you say Chelly? Is that how it's pronounced?
Yeah, I don't know.
Whoa.
It sounded like pasta, you know, Porcelli.
Yeah. Now you're making me hungry. Pasta sounds good right about now. Not gonna lie. Because Porcelli, the rookie driver, the highest running rookie, currently in that third position now. After getting around Miranda and DeGroot, who now fell off just a little bit from the top three. But Porcelli or Celli, however you want to pronounce it, I think we got to cover it both ways, just in case one of us has got to be right.
Right.
Or we both
or
could
can
be
both
wrong,
be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. He's now got that best seat in the house right behind the battle between Pinero and Frankenfield. Going to the inside now. Looks like Porcelli looking on the inside of Frankenfield. Won't quite able to get the run down. Man, Pinero shot out of a cannon there with the side-by-side battle between Frankenfield and Porcelli. Too big of a lead, it looks like, coming out of turn 4. Coming to complete lap 166. I mean, there's still quite a bit of racing to go, but man, it looks like now at least the guys in the top 5 right now, looks like they're ramping up their intensity as this race is winding down here. See him jockeying for position. Miranda trying to work his way up right on the tail end of that top 5. Actually now losing it to Forsyth. Seeing him just battling for the lead not too long ago. Looks like, he's scrubbed some speed. He's going to fall all the way back into the 8th position. Shows how one mistake can, a little bit of a bobble, you can fall all the way back into the 8th spot. Currently trying to stay ahead of that second pack. Moves back up into the 6th position. They're battling side by side. I think the best thing for these guys in the top 5 to see. Leaders are going to be catching lap traffic in just a moment. That might bunch the pack up just a little bit. And Alexio in 20th. I think the lap car is going to stay high, trying to give the leaders room here. They do so. Alexio, another rookie, running in the 20th position, 4 laps down.
Get a nice view here of the entire field coming by.
Out of
the back.
They call it the rear wing car. I don't know what they would call
gearbox.
it. Gearbox. Oh, there you go. Gearbox can. Yeah, that makes sense.
Or the attenuator.
Learning new things here tonight. It's crazy how fast they go back up front.
They probably had enough of me showing them getting past left and right.
Frankenfield pulling off to a pretty big gap here now. As the group does move into the 2nd position. And with these two guys battling side by side, DeGroot and Pinero, that's going to pull that gap to almost a 2nd. And I wonder, I don't know, Dave, do you think if Chad gets out to a big enough lead, do those guys, are they able to catch his draft and catch back up to him?
Yeah, it's not as big a deal in IndyCar. The draft doesn't have as much of a play as like it does with the stock cars. But if anything, he's just going to be, when he's out there all by himself and not switching spots back and forth, he's going to be eating the fuel load. The 2nd place car will now be essentially a 1st place car in their fuel usage too, so that does help Chad.
See, now the gap is closing a little bit now to under a half a second.
Typically what you'll see the first car do, though, is realize that they're burning at too high a rate, and they'll start to manage that gap, and they'll back up to the 2nd car.
Back it up. I was actually just going to ask that too. I wonder if that was part of Chad's game there as well, just to not burn too much fuel.
At IndyCar, it's very much on these long races like this. It's very much hitting a number. You got to keep hitting your fuel number and stay with it. And just trust that it's going to come out.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have this in NASCAR, but I think they're a little bit more well known to have a race strategist in IndyCar. I believe I don't know if it's generally in road courses, I believe, but I'm thinking they have them on ovals as well, don't they?
Yeah, mostly on ovals, just so they can do the pit strategies and the undercut, the overcut, and what fuel number they have to get. And they typically will update that fuel number several times a lap of what they hit, and they'll have their different fuel mappings in the car, and they'll try to hit that. And as long as they keep doing it, if you can stay above it, then you can get better as you go. So you hope to, if you're going to save fuel, you usually save it from the minute you come out of the pits, and then save that fuel as much as you can so that they can give you the green light to run full rich when you.
Man, and that's a lot of information that's got to be coming at you. You got to handle these cars at the insane speeds that they're going, trying to perform every move at precision like moments there, and also worry about fuel and stuff like that. So there's a lot going on in the cockpit of one of these, even though sometimes it looks relatively calm.
Yeah, and I'm unsure in our league how many of these drivers might be using spotters during the race. We don't really get that information to know who they're talking to, but a lot of them are in Discord and their team chat, and they'll talk about that and maybe have somebody that's doing the calculations.
Always a good thing to have a spotter, someone that can kind of gather a lot of that information for you, because it can be hectic if you're kind of out there solo trying to figure it out on your own. Now Nick DeGroot on the rear wing of Chad Frankenfield. They're trying to pull away. Oh, go ahead.
We're now 30 laps from the last pit stop, so
should be relatively shortly once we see him dive down pit road again. And you got to think, if you're Porcelli, Pinero, and Miranda, the gap's not big. It actually looks like Porcelli is actually closing that gap a little bit. But once these green flag stops, you want to make sure you're as close to these top two as possible to make sure you don't lose them once these green flag pit stops are made. Which I think it doesn't matter what form of racing we're talking about, but getting on and off pit road under these green flag conditions are huge. We will be seeing them very shortly, or should. I think I jinxed it last time, so hopefully that doesn't happen again. Coming to lap 180 of 250. Getting close to 70 laps to go I just did math right, I believe. Pretty sure.
Yep.
Just a note too, the points leader, Van de Sant, I believe he's still out there soldiering on, 23rd position. I believe he's many laps down. He has currently scored 14 laps down, so about the same as he was, I believe, last time we did check in on him. So he didn't lose too many more laps. Gained a couple positions. And guys that are trailing in points, Chad Frankenfield currently sitting in the 10th position. If he can remain out front, that could be huge for him moving up the ranks here in the points. DeGroot, I guess two guys battling. Only 3 points separate the two. DeGroot in 9th, Frankenfield in 5th. So, still really early on in the going here of the season. Actually getting kind of close to halfway. I believe 9 events. This is the 4 of 9, I believe. And these two guys battling for position on the track and in the points. And Porcelli, the rookie, out there as well. I'm trying to see where he is at in points. He is 13th. So the good run tonight. He's seen trouble from Musselman. Ahead of him in points in 12th, so that could be a good points day for Porcelli. And maybe even a shot at a win if he can get back up to the rear wing of Frankenfield and duke it out. Good run for him. I believe he's looking. Let's see what his stats were here for the current season. He does have a 4th place finish at Long Beach. Struggled a little bit on oval so far with a 30th at Kansas and 20th at Auto Club early on in the season. So looking to change his oval stats around here. Currently sitting at 3rd. You see Troiano, one of the cars on the lead lap, coming down pit road. So we should see guys coming down pit road relatively quickly. Harleman currently running 14th down pit road as well. Oh, overshot the pit box there. Able to quickly get in reverse, get in his pit box, get his service completed. So what's the time of the pit stops for IndyCar? Is it right around 10 seconds?
Yeah, usually it's under 10 seconds.
Seems like
Takes them longer to fuel than it does to change the tires.
Looks like Frankenfield coming down pit road. Trying to get in as quickly as possible without speeding. You want to go in as quickly as possible, but sometimes if you're right on that razor's edge, there's a lot more you can lose if you do get a penalty than you can gain. We'll see Frankenfield, see how quick these guys get on and off pit road. You see he's ready to go, waiting for that fuel. It's good. He's on his way. He rolls off of pit road. Nick DeGroot scored the leader, and that Frankenfield currently scored a lap down. Did they go a lap down before pit stops last time? I don't recall that.
Yeah, usually. By the time you have the in lap and the out lap, you'll usually go down a lap.
One lap. For some reason, I just noticed that now. Oops. And DeGroot down pit road getting his service done, along with Forsyth and Vera. See Forsyth. Vera and another rookie out in the field. So currently, as far as rookie drivers are concerned, on the lead lap, you have 3 of them. In Porcelli, Joseph. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it.
Grijalva.
I always have to say it like that now too. Grijalva and Vera currently scored on the lead lap, or going to be on the lead lap once these pit cycles do complete. Pinero surrenders the lead to Fortner. Little Eagle Racing Machine.
Had a relatively quiet day so far.
Yeah, and he kind of hanging right around that top 10. He was close to the top 5 a little bit earlier as well. And I gotta wonder. There's a team in the NASCAR series called Aggressive Eagle. I don't know if Little Eagle is kind of a sister team to that, or if it's just kind of a coincidence.
Good question.
Might have to find that out now. You said Chad was on Little Eagle, correct?
Correct.
Oh, that's, I guess.
An Aggressive Aggressive Eagle's Gerald, right? Isn't Gerald on that team, Campbell?
Yep.
I can't imagine those two being on the same team.
Okay, you got a point. And out there, if you're out there watching, there's a little bit of a rivalry between the two, a little bit butting heads differences. So but who knows? Maybe sometimes that makes good teammates too.
And it is mostly good natured. It makes it fun.
Oh yeah. But I think you just a lot of times. I think a lot of it's they drive the same. And Campbell is one guy that in the NASCAR world we call him Ryan Newman. He's a tough guy to pass, and Frankenfield can be the same way as well. And that can lead to heads butting every once in a while. But now with green flag pit stops, looks to be cycled through. Nick DeGroot, the leader. And Troiano, how about this? He's going to take the lead by Frankenfield. Talk about how aggressive he is. Trying to take that lead back once again. But he's on that inside line. He's not going to get the run. And man, almost looked like they touched between Troiano and DeGroot. And he's going to look to the inside, take that lead. Try to deny Chad that top spot. Troiano's going to try to hold off Chad, too, to see if he can maintain that lead. This could get interesting here with 3 cars battling for position. DeGroot, the odd man out of this battle right now. Troiano holding that top spot, but now Frankenfield's going to look on the inside down turn 3. And now, again, we've seen how patient they were playing that draft game earlier. Now it's heating up. 3 wide. Almost there for a second. As DeGroot now goes from 3rd to the inside to the lead. That's going to allow Miranda in the 4th spot to catch these 3. And Porcelli in 5th. It looks like he's going to try to catch these guys as well. As Troiano takes the lead. Chad, I think he had scrubbed a little speed off a corner exit. Maybe got a little ill handling there off of turn 4. Able to regroup. Now get a good run on the outside of Troiano. And they'll both probably get a pretty good run on DeGroot here if need be, but doesn't quite work out that way at the moment. Now Troiano looks to the inside. Frankenfield trying to follow suit. DeGroot tries to throw a block, and he's able to do so. He holds on to that 2nd spot as they get to the line here. DeGroot's going to try to make that move. Ooh, he might have did it. It's a good battle there for the lead there on this lap. I think Troiano was officially scored the leader that lap. Getting close to 50 laps to go here in this event. Getting down to crunch time. I believe I said earlier one more stop, but I don't know what math I was doing. I think now they have one more stop left. Again, me and math are,
not friends.
Not friends. Geometry, geography, it's all the same.
Yeah, you didn't learn your math when you were in geography class. So.
Yeah. It's DeGroot and now Frankenfield. Looks like they're back out front playing the leapfrog game, and Troiano trying to settle in there in the 3rd position, but that did bring in the 90 of Miranda and Porcelli into the mix, and there you see pit stop strategy.
Yeah, so we should get to lap 225, 227 around in there.
Ballparking, yeah.
And then they should have enough to go to the end once they stop then.
Should be one more pit stop, but still a lot of dicing to do before then. I think you'll see the 15 and 89 battling it out. We now see Miranda trying to move into that 3rd position. Ooh, it looks like Troiano got a little tight. A little bit of understeer coming on at turn number 2. He's going to have to settle back into that 4th spot. Now looks like we might have a 5-car battle here relatively quickly, the way things are shaping up, but top 2 trying to just keep it amongst themselves here at the moment. Miranda's going to look on the inside of Troiano. Not able to get the run off corner exit. Miranda having a good run here tonight, as well as that rookie Porcelli. He's going to look to the inside too. It looks like it's getting harder and harder. You got to time it just right if you're going to go to that bottom side to kind of pull almost a slide job on the driver ahead of you. And unable to get it done here at the moment. These guys not quite timing it up quite right. Now it looks like we might see a 3-car battle to the lead. DeGroot's second position is in question as Troiano goes to the inside. He has Miranda tucked right behind DeGroot. They're going to get the run off corner exit. And Troiano is going to fall from second, maybe to fifth once it's all said and done. Drives in deep. Tries to pull that slide job on Miranda. Wasn't quite able to get it done. And that will leave DeGroot and Frankenfield 1-2. Once again, these guys try to figure out who's going to be running where.
Now we got lap traffic.
Lap traffic, that could play a big factor in how this field shapes up here. Lap cars staying high, trying to stay out of the way as much as they can, try to get what they can here in this closing laps of the Warriors for Peace US 500. Once again, got to thank them for coming on board here tonight. Check them out. I lost my phone to do the reads, but check them out at warriorsforpeace.org. Got so excited that I lost the read. I was gonna do a quick read for them once again. And here we go. I'll try to do it. Warriors for Peace is a foundation promoting peaceful change in the world to honor the beautiful life of Jack Shockley. Again, check them out at warriorsforpeace.org for more information. Again, I would like to thank all of our sponsors for making this possible. It's now first and second kind of pulling away here a little bit. Still working through a little bit of lap traffic. Oh, great. Now I found my phone when, after I was done looking for it. on how that goes.
Well, you needed to find it eventually. So.
Yeah, well, that's fair. As again, we have one more green flag pit stop coming. You got guys like Bruno Miranda trying to catch the top 2 of Frankenfield and DeGroot, which I think sum it up as a whole, these 2 guys have been at least in the top 5, dicing it up. Frankenfield got to be close to being up front, one of the top 2 cars almost every lap. And for Frankenfield, it doesn't matter if it's lap 1 or lap 250. That's generally where he wants to be, even if he's
there's only one direction he's going.
Yeah, he wants to go forward, and he's in prime position to do that here tonight. But he also has guys like Nick DeGroot, Bruno Miranda, and Eric Troiano that want to prevent him from having that happen. Losing that pack there a little bit is Joa Ritter and Pinero. Just a little bit trying to stay up there. But it looks like I was kind of surprised last green flag pit stop how close that field kind of got back together, because generally you kind of almost see the opposite, that they'll kind of spread the field out maybe a little bit more as And the fuel load burns off a little bit. Tires wear off just a little bit as well. That you see the cars kind of handle a little bit differently, and I do think generally, isn't it more the fuel load that will change the handling on these cars with the wheelbase?
Yeah, as
of
the
these
weight
cars and the weight.
as the weight burns off. Yeah.
Yeah, the weight kind of probably plays more of a factor into it than the tire wear is.
Yeah, they have
differently than stock cars.
They have in-car tools. They can use their weight jacker to move their weight from front to back, because depending on what their full fuel load is, and then the downside of how you move that is which are you going to burn your right front tire, or are you going to burn your left rear? So they have to kind of balance all of that. And that's about the only thing they can deal with in car. That's I think that's the only tools they have, maybe in that brake bias, maybe.
And again, just another
tool or
factor that no brake bias here, but another factor that these guys have to deal with in the cockpit, along with fuel strategy, trying to make these precision moves at high speed. Just again, a lot going on in these cockpits each and every lap here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series. That was a cool kind of shot here out of the front wing of Chad Frankenfield. Getting like the 360 panoramic view here. We'll see him when the group back. Makes that run. Yeah, see him make that dart out move here. Ooh. Look at all the different cameras here we got. Little suspension cam. See if Chad's gonna make the move. Is he gonna get him at the line? And he will. Lead that lap.
Pulls out a little bit this time.
Yeah, gets a pretty good run through the center of the corner. And I was kind of surprised hearing from some of these drivers, before the race on a fresh fuel load on fresh tires, how much you got to play with the throttle here. I generally would have thought that you could have been pretty much wide open, which I think it generally overall, if you're by yourself, you can keep it pinned, but in a pack, got to kind of maybe play with the throttle just a little bit. We've seen some of the drivers have some understeer in the corners and even get loose on the bottom. A little understeer. There we see Traiano making his pit stop. Should be just enough to make it the rest of the way on fuel. Now in IndyCar, in stock car, we generally see guys, short pitting, trying to get that faster laps on a fresh tires. Do you see that as much as a benefit in IndyCar as you would say in a stock car?
No, not nearly as much. They may plan it out so they have a short fill at the end, try to be able to get back in. But you almost never. The other thing you don't get in IndyCar that you do in stock cars, like right side tires only. You almost always take all four fresh tires.
And especially when you can change all four of them at one time.
Yeah, the fuel's a limiting factor anyways.
Yeah, so hearing the 89 is going to be coming down pit road this time by. So now the green flag pit stops. The Traiano kind of began it, and now DeGroot be the first leader to do so. Who locks him up just a little bit, trying to get under pit entry or pit road speed. I think one of the coolest things in IndyCar, which I wish they would have in stock cars, is that the pit road limiter.
Oh yeah, the help of being able to put the limiter on so you don't have to worry about speeding.
Yep, I'm sure most of these drivers that do both have been victim of that, of speeding out pit road in a stock car. As Frankenfield does head down pit road, that will give the lead to Joa Ritter in that 92. Right behind him is Bruno Miranda and Adriano Pinero. And I love that call. I just heard Porcelli 93 boxing, 93 boxing. Got those official IndyCar open wheel terms as he's heading down pit road. Get a great run for that rookie for Grand Primo Esports. Ooh, coming in hot. Ooh, wow.
He's good.
He's good. It's a moment there had me holding my breath, but getting on and off pit road and hurry. That seemed really quick for Porcelli. Did he get a full tank there?
He might have underfilled it because we're at 220, so he wouldn't have needed 40 laps worth of fuel. So he might have shorted a little bit. We have a caution. I didn't even
caution. Oh boy,
Eric Troiano.
Oh man,
Net code.
Oh, net code. That was bad net code there. Unfortunate for Pinero and Troiano, and heavy damage getting into that inside wall. Yeah, technical issue indeed. And I know there's competitors here in the elite competitors out there that always like to call out the calls of netcode, but that one, you did not need binoculars to see that one. That was quite a big gap of netcode indeed.
So the top 8 did not come in. Had not come in yet. Now they'll get the benefit of pitting under caution.
Then that should inherit the lead to Porcelli, which again, we see how quick that pit stop was, and I don't know how close he may have filled it, but if there was any doubts, that could certainly help him with this caution now. We'll have under 30 to go once we go back green. Bruno Miranda is getting his service completed. Getting underway. And for as long as I've been iRacing, and I still get nervous when Del Porto was coming onto pit road, knowing the cars, once you're in your pit boxes, they'll go through each other here in iRacing. I still have it happen when a car is coming towards me. I'm like, oh boy, gonna be contact.
Yeah.
So Porcelli now in the top spot, and guys like DeGroot, Frankenfield, and Forsyth are going to have to take the wave around and rejoin the tail end of the field, so that could play a big factor. And guys like DeGroot and Frankenfield to get back up front. Now they got a lot of traffic between them to see if they can get back up there. There you see the top 5: Porcelli, Yari, Ritter, Miranda, Pinero there in the 56. Fortner. In the 6th spot. And how about Belvans? Again, just riding around. Now currently sitting in the top 10. Joseph Gravalia. Did I say that right? I was trying to pronounce it casually. I don't know if I did.
Grijalva.
Hall. I gotta remember the Hall. Grijalva. Tristan Wood and Vera round out that top 10. There you see DeGroot, Frankenfield, and Forsyth getting their waiver rounds, and that will round out the guys currently on the lead lap. You'll have Joel Harlman in 14th, 1 lap down. And Nelson. There's Nick Sudik still out there soldiering on, currently being scored in that 16th position. Trying to catch the field after the wave round. Nick Del Porto in 17th. Ryan Schuld in 18th position. Another little Eagle driver. And there's Troiano getting that. His night might be over, it looks like. Still sitting on pit road. Thomas Geisler in 20. Now in the warm-up lap stage. Getting warmed up as we look through the rest of the field. Michael Hossack, 24. Van de Sant still out there soldiering on as well in 23rd.
I think he's the last car out on the track running.
As RC would be the guy in 24th. So everyone 24th on back, currently out of the event. Unless Troiano cannot get back out there, he might be another one that might join him. Yet to be determined.
So this should be entertaining. We're going to get to watch DeGroot, Frankenfield, and Forsyth come from the back of the lead.
And I believe I heard Frankenfield said there's going to be some lap cars between them and the leaders, or between them and Donna Vieira in 10th. This could be an interesting thing to watch. These guys try to work their way up through traffic as we're going to get ready to get back going green. As they're going to hit that blue egg restart zone. Here we go. Ooh, some guys trying to go low. Some of the wounded cars trying to get out of the lead lap car's way. Actually, and now we have a battle up for the lead. Yari got to take that top spot, but Ritter on the inside. We got a 3-car battle for the lead at the moment. Ritter's going to take the lead coming out of turn 4. Yari might get a run here to the line. Next time by 25 laps to go.
Always like it when it flips over to laps to go.
Yeah, yep, getting down to the wire. And these moves are going to be more aggressive. Looks like, somebody
was down low.
Down low off the pace. Able to keep it going. Rejoins the racetrack. We see a 5-car breakaway from the rest of the pack. As Yari's going to lead this time by. Pinero's, we've seen him not afraid to make those aggressive moves. He's going to move to the top spot on the inside, slide up in front of Yari, take the lead. Yari's going to get in that slipstream look on the inside. Try to take that lead going into turn 3. Going to be trying to jockey for position. And currently those guys that were on the lead lap, or the leaders that had to take the waiver rounds, Frankenfield, DeGroot, and Forsyth, currently still scored back in 10th, 11th, and 12th. All they can do is hope these guys...
Chad just turned the fastest lap of the race at 32:12.
He's going for it.
He's motivated.
He's motivated. Yep. And the guys even behind him, Forsyth, I believe, pretty close lap there as well with the 32.23. Now Chad does move up into the 9th position past Alex Balvans. This battle up front still heating up as well between Pinero and Ritter. Miranda is trying to get in there as well as Yari's fallen back into the 4th position. And again, exactly what I think the wave around guys do want to see. Chad's been only able to move up 1 spot. Nick and Craig Forsyth haven't gained any position since the restart. Looking out front from Pinero's point of view. And actually now looking at Ritter. These two guys jockey for that top spot at the moment. 22 laps to go. So I would say, even can they run it full rich at this point with just having a little over 25 laps to go when we got this restart? Can they kind of go full song, or they
I don't think anybody's holding back now. Looks like everybody. Yeah.
Should be able to go from here. And position-wise, not gaining too much. Oh, and the caution is out. Ooh, there's a car on the infield there.
Porcelli.
And the 93, what? See what happened there?
Yeah. Spotter cleared him.
Yep.
But it wasn't clear.
Was not clear. Try to, again, just that time of the race where those aggressive moves will happen. And again, Porcelli doesn't look like there's too much damage. Try to dart on the inside of Eric Schuld, I believe that was. Not good. And that will be ruled on the 93, as we've seen on the replay there. As he'll be given the tally. Again, if you're new to Elite Racing competition, used to be EOLs that were given. You had to start at the end of the longest line, EOLs. But they changed that to tallies issued, and if you have two of them in a race, you get parked for the night, unless you do choose to dispute one.
In People's Court.
Yeah, go to the People's Court, and if you do lose, though, you obviously do not get scored for that, and whatever lap your last incident was on, you revert back to that lap, and that was your last lap completed. It's a little bit of a gamble you could take, but so far we haven't seen any issues so far here tonight. Pinero's going to have that lead once we go back to green flag racing, winding down. This Warriors for Peace US 500. For some reason, I totally forgot about the iRacing pace car being kind of like the just the iRacing general hybrid car. I believe it kind of looks like I don't know, looks like a little bit of mix of everything. The back end kind of looks like one of those Cadillac with the CVS's, and front end, I don't know, mix between like a Ford Fusion, Dodge Dart, and Mustang or something. And didn't have to see the pace car too much out here tonight, but just enough, I think, to make it interesting here to see a little shootout here to close out this event. Is Adriano Pinero leading this race coming into tonight. Gotta look this up now here. This is first. No, he was third in points. So he's already had a pole to his name.
I think Ritter's new to the league. I don't remember that name. I didn't see him in the point standings.
I don't think I see Ritter. Might be making his first start, at least of the season here. Going through the top 10. Again, now there are still 13 cars scored on the lead lap. Porcelli down pit road at the moment, getting some of that damage fixed as we look through the rest of the field. Forsyth in 9th, and rounding out that top 10, Donna Vera. Okay, Yari, who he might have came down pit road. He was up in the top 5 there, and Fortner.
Yeah, he came in on 231. So, yeah, Yari and Fortner both just topped off. Don't know why, or they get fresh tires, I guess.
See if,
but they're on the end of the lead lap. It doesn't hurt them.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt him too bad.
Porcelli's doing the same thing.
Especially maybe getting a little bit of that damage fixed on his machine there. Hopefully he can get back out there and complete the good run that he's been having for, well over 450 miles of this race. Hopefully he can finish it off with the solid run here.
Well, Goody, my phone blew up with a whole lot of cuss words, so I don't think it's a good news for me.
Oh no, yeah, no. I forgot. I didn't want to be the one breaking the news to you there about
Yeah.
March Madness.
The one thing I didn't turn off was my text messages, and they started showing up on my phone with a lot of 4-letter words. So.
Yeah, I'll say at the end of the day, it was still a good game though. But
that'd definitely be the most talented Purdue team we've ever had, and they have absolutely nothing to show for it.
Yeah, and it's just created by one of the probably craziest Cinderella stories in recent memory here, advancing to the Elite Eight.
And if I had to guess, I'm going to say that it probably was the result of Purdue having at least 15 turnovers. That's been the bad thing all day, or all year.
All year. Looks like Porcelli did try to get out in front of the leaders, but it looks like he'll be scored now 1 lap down. Still hanging on to that 13th spot as we're going to get ready to hit that blue egg restart zone. Coming to 16 laps to go. Can Pinero, Ritter, Miranda hang on to those top spots? Or we're going to see Frankenfield now scored in 5th. Did he work his way back up to the lead? We're about to find out. 16 laps to go here. Pinero pulls off to a big lead. Got a good jump on this restart. Ritter moves into second position. Miranda sitting right behind, and Grijalva. Man, I don't know if I can ever say it right now.
Grijalva.
Grijalva. I gotta keep remember Hall. Grijalva in 4th. And Frankenfield might be getting in the mix soon enough as see him just a little bit behind Grijalva. Ooh, now I'm starting
there
to
you go.
Just in the nick of time, 15 laps to go. And just in the nick of time as he's moved into the top 3. Gets around Miranda. Tries to work on Ritter for that 2nd spot. Pinero leads with 14 laps to go. But I think anyone in at least top 4, maybe top 5 here will have a shot here at the victory for sure. And if these guys keep dicing up, which as these laps wind down, I think it's only going to get more and more intense. Could see this being quite easily at least a 9-car battle. 13 laps now to go. All or nothing for these top 4. They're dicing as hard as they can go. Ritter currently holding on to the lead. Grijalva and Miranda battling side by side for 3rd spot. Pinero going to the inside, trying to take the lead. He will do so.
Now Chad's there.
Get a run. Yeah, Chad is there now. He's within that draft. I don't know if Tristan would. He's right on the outer edge. Him and Balvez battling right behind Chad. Pretty close. They can also make this a fun, interesting battle here towards the end. Almost contact between Grijalva and Pinero there. Almost, that could have been disastrous there. Able to keep off each other, keep going. 12 laps to go, coming to 11 to go.
No.
Oh, contact!
In front of the field.
Oh, boy. DeGroot getting involved there. He looked like he was in the wall already at that point. So Grijalva, Miranda, DeGroot, Pinero. I think Frankenfield did dart through that. How about Balvans? In 3rd position now. Oh, just that slight contact there, too. For Grijalva and Pinero. Actually, right there. Pinero, right? I'm getting those 2 orange cars mixed up right now. Oh, DeGroot. Such a good run.
Yeah, it looks like Miranda comes up the Thumbs up the track.
And gets...
Take a look at it here.
Let's see if he can...
Yeah, it's net code, but...
I think that contact probably would have happened regardless.
The way he was coming up the track, I think it was going to happen no matter what.
They're ruling it a net code, no cautions. Finero looked like he was close to getting through Frankenfield. Now Finero was the orange car. Grijalva was the one who got involved late. Chad able to dodge through. Belvans, what a run. I mean, a guy, he was just, it seemed like he was just riding around most of this race, and he's currently in line for a podium finish if he can hang on. And what a run for that 5 machine of Belvans. I think the first time being in the top 5 here tonight. And now after that wreck, that took out quite a few of the leaders. Only 9 cars scored on the lead lap. We'll have under 10 laps to go to settle this one out. And we thought things were getting juicy there. We might only be beginning the excitement here.
So Forsyth and Brubacher headed to the pits for some new tires.
Again, nothing to lose until into the lead lap there. And I'm hearing that they're gonna, all the lead lap cars are gonna cycle back up right behind the leader, so there'll be no lap car gap between guys who just came down pit road.
Is that Toto Frankenfield making his plea to Michael Massey and making sure they're out of the way?
I think so. I'm wondering, is Porcelli back on the lead lap? He might be cool.
No, he's 1 lap down.
Okay, he's 1 lap down, yeah, okay. Scoring got a little funky there. I thought maybe somehow got on lead lap, but still 1 lap now. Getting back in the top 10 though right now with trying to salvage at least a top 10 run after a strong showing here with that previous caution. Just a few laps to decide this one. Frankenfield, after getting caught a lap down, having to take a wave around, see if he can get back up front. Belvans, can he pull off some Cinderella story here? We're about to find out. Vieira rounds out the top 5.
And I know it's not an IndyCar thing to do green-white checkers, but it is an iRacing thing. I don't know if we have it for the series or not. This is not my normal series. I'm not sure.
Man, it's been a while for me. I want to say, Chad being the IndyCar purist he might not. But I want to say I was maybe a little surprised. There might be one attempt, but we might find out, though, if things do get aggressive here. But hopefully we can hopefully we won't have to find that out either way.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see these guys battle it out and provide a good finish as the pace car is going to dive down pit road. We're going to see that 1 lap of warm-up here. Kind of curious what would happen if that you came to a green-white checker. Obviously they wouldn't do this warm-up lap.
No.
I'm sure there's a rule in place, but again, us being a little foreign to the series, not quite sure how that would play out. But again, hopefully we won't find out. We see a good battle here to the end. So we're gonna settle this one once and for all here for the Warriors 4-piece US 500. Sit back and enjoy, or maybe sit on the edge of your seat, because I think this is going to get exciting. Just wondering how many, in these last 6 laps, how many times the lead's going to change. I think we're going to see quite a bit. We're about to find out as Joe Ritter is going to lead him to the green flag here. Going to put the power down once he gets to that blue egg restart zone. And here we go. Back at it. Ritter with a good jump. Gonna lead it with 6 laps to go. Frankenfield, Belvans right behind. Trying to team up to catch the 92 in the closing laps here of the Warriors for Peace 500. See how quickly that gap closes going down into turn 3. And here they come. Frankenfield and Belvans. 5 laps to go. Looks like a 3-car breakaway. Chad's pleading with Alec, just be patient. Belvans was all race long. Now in the top 3, can get a podium finish if he can hang on. But I'm sure if he can get up to him, he's going to try to get a chance to win the Warriors for Peace US 500. Chad Frankenfield is there, coming out of turn 4. He's going to take a look, coming down to the inside. Side by side at the line. Frankenfield's going to lead with 4 laps to go. And now I think the dance is on. Who's going to time it right? Is it going to be Ritter? Is it going to be Frankenfield? Does Belvans, can he come out of nowhere, pull off the March Madness Cinderella Miracle? We're about to find out. Ritter on the inside. Taking the lead. Frankenfield's trying to get that draft. Get him at the line once again. You know, he's been working on this all race long, trying to time it out just right. That time he did not. 3 laps to go. Belvans is there now too. Here comes Forsyth trying to make this a 4-car race.
I told you he was sitting in 6th waiting for his chance.
Yeah, he's waiting for his chance. Here he comes. He can get there. He's got the time, but coming to 2 to go.
He has 20 lap newer tires. So
oh wow, he's got some fresh tires at the line again. Ritter's got it that time. Once again, Frankenfield does take the lead, going right past the start-finish line. Forsyth is right there. He's going to be battling for the 3rd spot, and he's gonna be in this mix. Coming down to the white flag, going down the inside of Belvez. Ritter on the inside of Frankenfield for the lead. Oh, Forsyth doesn't get a good run. Scrubs a little bit of speed, still side by side. First 4 cars, final lap, 1 to go. Who's it gonna be? Who's gonna lead the final lap here? Whoa, they almost make contact. Ritter and Frankenfield. Forsyth there with the fresh tires.
Oh, he pushed up high.
He pushed high. Belvez is going to try to get back in that podium position. Down the backstretch, Frankenfield takes the lead. Who's going to time it right? Here comes Belvez on the inside of Ritter. Does he have a run? Can Ritter time this right? Can he get by Frankenfield at the right moment? He goes to the outside.
Spins.
Frankenfield spins. Ritter's going to win the race. Forsyth second, Belvez third. Frankenfield sideways, comes home in 4th. And Fortner comes home, rounds out the top 5. That was interesting there. Was that netcode?
We're going to find out.
No, contact. It looked like there might have been contact. Oh boy. Interesting. Wow. So, wow.
Well, that changes everything.
Changes everything. Developing 92 ruled at fault will be given an EOL penalty. So, Forsyth,
so who won it? Was I right or was I right?
You were right. Called it. playing the strategy. I think he was listening. He must have been listening to the broadcast, listening to your strategy, was able to get the victory. So Ritter will now, who did come across the line in first, will be scored.
They're talking 4/1000ths of a second between the two.
And that was between Forsyth and Belvans. And how about Belvans again, a guy who's been running tail end of the lead lap most of the run. So wow, the fireworks to conclude the Warriors for Peace US 500. Take another look.
I'm going back to look at the finish here.
Yeah, Belva's in position, and Forsyth did it correctly. Didn't get in the back end of Belvans. And look at how close that battle is, man. Right at the line. This ended up being the battle for the win here. As the 92 again ruled at fault, given the EOL. And man, oh man. And Joe Ritter, unfortunately, a good run. We'll get back to the tail of the lead lap. We do have here ready for an interview, Craig Forsyth getting that win just barely over Alec Belvans. And Craig, what a wild race. How's it feel to get that win?
How did that?
We're not quite sure. We're not quite sure how that happened either. And I got to say, Dave was sitting here. He liked your strategy all race long. You just seemed like you were biding your time. Just trying to be there at the end. And man, here you are.
Yeah, that's my general. Any of the big speedway tracks, it's stay with the lead pack, but don't be at the front of it because everyone gets aggressive up there. It's just stay at the back, play safe. Usually keeps you out of the wrecks, and that it worked out well. And I mean the one stay out attempt, I think with 80 to go or so. Basically, I knew I was good on fuel for one more stop, and everyone else was going to have to make one more stop too. So why not go to the front? And as soon as I think I got my couple laps led, and then just let myself drop back.
Hey, yeah, at the end of the day, it ends up paying off and ended up here in victory lane. And, I got to ask you, too, because you pitted on that last caution and got fresh tires. How much did that play a role in working your way up to the front and getting this win here tonight?
Those 4 Firestones were 100% of the reason why I finished there. Yeah, I had no. I knew with 10 to go, it was like if the guys in front of me pit, I'm pitting. If they don't pit, I'm still pitting anyway because I knew that the lap cars would get cycled to the back. So at the worst, I'd be starting. I think 10. I think there were 10 cars or 8 or so left on the lead lap, and I think all 3 of us from me back pitted for new tires, which was the right move. So it was the guys at the front knew if they didn't pit if they stayed out, we would. And if they went in, someone would try to stay out. So it's a gamble.
A gamble indeed, a gamble that paid off here tonight. And I believe this is your first IndyCar win here in the Mega Driver 86 IndyCar Series?
You betcha it is. I need to go back and see what exactly happened there because I thought I had just barely edged out Alec for third. So I know I saw Chad going sliding off, so I need to review that replay to see what actually ended up happening. But man, Alec and I, that was so tight.
Yeah. You got to check that replay out. That was pretty neat. And again, congratulations getting the job done. But before we let you go celebrate your victory, any shout outs you want to give?
I got to thank the boys over at 4D Sim Racing, Jim, lmcgear.com. Elite Racing Series Mega Drivers, whoever the race sponsor was tonight, because I totally didn't expect to have to talk tonight.
Hey, it's okay to be excited. That's awesome. Getting that first win out of the way, and hopefully they'll come in bunches for you now.
Oh, I hope so. Yes.
Again, congratulations, Craig, on the victory here tonight, and best of luck to you next week. And to Phoenix, what do you think about your chances next week before we send you off?
I like that track. I mean, this is a tough field. So, but, liking the track and being good enough to be at the front with these guys is two completely different things. So until we start turning laps on it, I don't really know what I'm up against. I'll hope for the top 10. And if it's better than that, cool.
All right. Well, hopefully you'll be right here in talking to whoever's broadcasting next week, and maybe go for 2 in a row. Never know.
Heck yes.
Heck yeah. Well, again, congratulations, Craig, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, David. Thanks, Michael. Stay safe.
Yep, you too. Yep. Craig Forsyth, winner tonight of the Warriors for Peace US 500. Now I got to get him back in the waiting room there. And next up, I think we got to bring in Chad. There's got to be some. Are
you jumping to third? You're making Alec. He finished second.
I know I did. I know, but I want to see if I can get some true emotion here out of Chad.
Okay.
Although he's pretty mellow generally, but Chad, I mean, it looked like you were, I mean, up front in at least the top 5 for dang near 499.99 miles, and looked like you're in a position to have a pretty good shot to get at the stripe, but unfortunately ended up in the grass, but still ended up with the top 3, so pretty good points in that overall, but probably got to be a little disappointed.
Yeah, I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you. It was everything went right in that race. It was, the strategy was perfect. Me and Nick were running a great race as well. We were having a good battle, and I think what's frustrating at the end there, he wasn't going to be able to pass me. It was by the time you come off turn 4, I mean, I was doing it all race. I was practicing when to time it, and I knew when I came off 4, I had the race. The race was mine, and he made a super, super late move. I really don't know what he was doing. Yeah, I mean, he said sorry. I mean, I know he didn't do it on purpose. It's just frustrating for me. It's a 500-mile race to be put in a spot to win a race like that, and it just ripped for me like that. It sucks, but good points tonight, I guess, and it was a really fun race. I mean, we did have some accidents, but I thought it was a good race.
Yeah, generally, guys put on a good show. I mean, yeah, you're up there battling for the lead all race long, and I did kind of have to wonder how often you made a lot of moves there. I think even throughout the night, and it looked like at certain points you were just testing out, like, how late can I make that move to try to get him at the stripe, and you put on a pretty good show throughout this 250 lap race.
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I timed it the way I did. I knew if I could hold the lead going into 3, the race was over. Because I knew I could defend enough to not get passed before the line. And like I said, unfortunately, I did what I had to do, and unfortunately, I didn't get the victory. But I want to shout out to Craig. He ran a great race. He's a guy that really deserves a win. Alec ran a really good race as well. 500-mile races aren't easy. You don't luck into any of it. So it's it's awesome to see those guys up front. But I'm still bummed. Obviously, like I said, we haven't won an IndyCar race now in about a year, and it's starting to get frustrating. So, but with Phoenix coming up, got the Indy GP, and then the big one coming up in May. Hopefully, we can get a win in those next couple races.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure you got the Indy 500 marked on your calendar for for a shot to win there. But yeah, before we let you go and kind of wrap your head around what happened here tonight, any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, obviously, AGUS Worldwide for the Triple Crown, Warriors for Peace is our race sponsor tonight. C2 Freight, Blue Egg Marketing, Powerhouse Recycling, at MegaDrive86 on Twitter, and then obviously Kicking the Tires for everything they do for me. They're sponsoring me across all my series, so hopefully you guys can check them out. They got some good articles, and they do a bunch of real life stuff, sim racing stuff. And then obviously my team, Little Eagle Racing. It was I run with them on the IndyCar side because with White Lightning they don't really run IndyCar. So we were a team, and it was like I said, it was a good day overall.
So now I have one more question, because me and Dave were talking about this during the broadcast. I was wondering if this has any affiliation with Aggressive Eagle, or is this like a little poking fun
No,
jab there?
No, completely. It's actually a completely separate team. These guys are more just strictly IndyCar, and so I thought it'd be good to team up with them because we were kind of working together already anyway. So
yeah, pretty good strong run for the team there. You got even teammate, I think, finishing in the 4th position, and Justin Fortner. So yeah, pretty solid run as a team showing out there tonight.
yeah, and then obviously I want to thank you guys, you and Dave, especially Dave. Hopefully his Purdue Boilermakers won tonight.
It was not good.
No,
it was not good.
So see, there you go. You're welcome.
So I missed it. Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah, he missed a heartbreaker. Let's just say that.
And the rest of my evening's freed up because I don't have to go back and watch the game.
But you know what, Dave? Do you live in Indiana?
Yes.
Okay. Well, now you got something to look forward to here in about a month and a half. So.
Oh yeah.
Now you Indiana, you Hoosiers can look forward to the big one coming up. So. But yeah, I want to thank you guys. Obviously, it was I was trying to make it actually as entertaining as I could because I wasn't going to save fuel. I hate doing that. So.
There wasn't a single time we thought you were.
No, and honestly, with the fuel numbers, I mean, there were a couple guys that were saving, but for some reason, it was just it wasn't enough to really make it worth my while. And I'm not running a 500-mile race and riding around, and it's just not what I want to do. So, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Chad. And again, well, at least you can hang your hat on a good, solid points night. Should be moving up in the point standings. And best of luck to you next week at Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Chad Frankenfield coming home in the 3rd position. Oh, we already got him up here. We have Alex Belvans. How about that, man? It looked like you were just kind of riding around being patient, and patience paid off, coming home in 2nd position. Almost pulled off that March Madness Cinderella miracle, but just one spot short and just inches short.
Yeah, talk about a potential upset there. That was wild. I had a good race, took my time with everything. I got through that last wreck. I still don't know how I did that. I need to go back and look at it. And it was in a good spot there, and Craig just barely got me. Still happy with 2nd though.
Yeah, gotta be happy with 2nd place, and yeah, just so close to getting that victory here tonight. But awesome show you put on. I don't know, we unfortunately made you sit here and wait the longest out of guys interviewing. But did you get a chance to look at the replay though?
Yeah, I went back, I watched it, talked it over, thought about it to myself. It was crazy. This is my first ever podium, and it's just wild.
Congrats.
Yeah. Heck yeah. So yeah, that's gonna feel pretty darn good. Even though now you know that you can put yourself in contention to win here in the IndyCar Series, and man, so close. And that, I mean, heck of a show to put on to round out this Warriors for Peace US 500.
Every season I have this race circled. It is fantastic. I love it, and definitely had ups and downs in this race, but happy to walk away 2nd.
So generally, was your strategy just kind of sitting there, just let the Chad Frankenfields of the field just kind of try to duke it out and
sit there, take my time, let everybody kind of wreck out, natural selection there, and then hope to be in a good spot there at the end. And almost paid off for me. I was happy when I thought I was 3rd. I was like, yes, I secured the podium. Sorry to Chad. It's unfortunate watching him go through the infield, but I was just happy to get 3rd. And then when the penalty came through, there's that moment of anger that I lost out by 4/1000ths of a second of what could ultimately be my only chance to win. and then like relief that I've still finished second in an elite race. So I'm ecstatic either way.
Yeah, so I gotta ask, what are you gonna do to celebrate now tonight? It's Friday night. What are you gonna do?
You know, back to the March Madness reference. I am an Iowa State alumni, and they are playing in their Sweet 16 game against Miami. So I'm gonna go watch the game.
Oh well, fair enough. Although I'm a little heartbroken they beat my Badgers, but always love a good upset though too.
Yeah, sorry that happened. I didn't think it would happen, but go Cyclones.
Yeah, hey, I have family in Iowa. I believe some of them are Iowa State alum too. So I can get on that bandwagon too, especially now Dave's Boilermakers lost too here tonight.
Oof, rub it in.
Yeah, I kind of did there.
Low blow, low blow, Mike.
Misery loves company, so welcome aboard. So hopefully, Alec, you won't. I mean, we got to keep you pumped up here. And
man, imagine second in the race, and then Iowa State picks up another win. This would be the best day ever.
Yeah, would be a very good day. But before we get you to the Cyclones game and you go celebrate that awesome finish here tonight, any shout-outs you want to give?
I told Mega I'd thank him for sponsoring the series, so thank you at MegaDriver86 for sponsoring. Kendall Noah Player for painting all my cars for free. This wonderful sponsor he brought on for me, and yeah, just happy. It's a great night.
Well, heck yeah, go enjoy it, Alec, and awesome to see the miracles can happen, and hopefully for the Cyclones that continues for you as well.
All right, thank you guys.
Yep, thank you. That was Alex Malvans coming home in second here tonight, and what a wild finish here, Dave. Any final thoughts?
It was a wild night. A whole lot of long runs and a lot of. You really got to think about that ending, though. I think they'll be talking about that for a few days.
Yeah, that one. I think tonight we've seen a little bit of everything. Like you said, we had the crazy shootout at the end, the wild finish, the long green flag runs. It was certainly an enjoyable race here indeed. But again, with that, thank you all for tuning in to tonight's Warrior 4-Piece US 500. Be sure to tune in this Sunday, and I get times confused.
I'll be back here with Gerald on Sunday night.
Sunday night, yeah, he'll
New
be
Hampshire.
Here. I'll be somewhere in the field, not guaranteeing where, but I'll be.
I don't have a basketball game to watch now, so I'll be here.
Yeah, you'll be here, and hopefully you guys tune in right here on the Elite Racing Network. But until then, for Dave Huckleberry and for myself, Mike Goodman, thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race, and see you all next time. Good night now.